Once or twice you've spoken, it seems to be sometimes sadly, about retirement. Do you still think of retirement?
Oh, I wanted to, but I thought about my children. I watched the baby cry the other day, and my wife was late giving the baby milk, and the baby raised hell. Ah! Just hollering. Don't know where they're going to get it, but they just expect you to have it. And I looked at about six more coming, and I said, 10 years from now, we'll be fighting. 10 years from now, that baby will just be 10 years old. And I'll need money. He'll need school books. He'll need clothes, bus fare. And then 20 years from now, my daughter will need a house. Or she'll need a job. And it'll be shame to say, Muhammad Ali's daughter, a waitress in a restaurant. He made all of those millions. Oh, there's his son over there is in here. What I'm trying to say, I can earn enough money in 5 years if I invest it and put it up right to take care of my grandchildren. So I wanted to retire, but after I see these children coming, after I see that they're gonna have a hard time, maybe they won't be blessed to make it like myself. I can knock out Blue Lewis, I can go knock out Floyd Patterson, I can knock out Joe Frazier, I can come back and knock out children. If you get your Irish champion, come knock him out, then I can go back over and knock something. Didn't get too much of a laugh on that, did I? So what I'm trying to say, if I can save up about $2 million, which is about how many pounds?
That's almost £1 million.
Almost $1 million. If I save up £1 million, then I can relax and go to sleep and retire and don't have to worry about my children, because this is a hard world. Don't nobody give you nothing. You have to work for it. Right?
Right.
So I'm blessed to be able to beat up everybody. So I want to beat up everybody until I can't beat them no more. If I can go 10 more years, so I'm going to keep on doing it.
Good. Most of your poems, like the one you spoke a few moments ago, are funny. But you've written one about your own people, I think at the time of the Attica prison riot. It's a serious poem. You have certainly very serious moments, as you've shown us tonight. Could you, before we go, just say that poem for us?
Oh, this poem really explains Attica prison. You heard that over here when all the black prisoners were shot, and just before they held some white hostages, and they said they would cut the throats if they didn't get what they wanted. And the word was, well, if the throats are cut, then you shoot and kill everybody. They found out during the autopsy that throats were not cut, they just shot them for nothing. The trigger happy policeman, and that Rockefeller gave word 10 minutes or so, if they don't give up, I think they went open fire. And one black person that came out to speak to the warden, he said, you have 10 minutes to surrender. What's your reply? We're going to come in shooting. And the black prisoner came out with a poetic poem. This didn't happen, but this is what I wrote. He said, better far from all I see, to die fighting to be free. What more fitting end could be? Better surely than in some bed where in broken health I'm led, lingering until I'm dead. Better than with prayers and pleas are in the clutch of some disease, wasting slowly by degrees. Better than of heart attack are some dose of drug I lack. Let me die by being black. Better far that I should go, standing here against the foe. Is the sweeter death to know? Better than the bloody stain on some highway where I'm lame, torn by flying glass and pain. Better call in death to come than to die another dumb, muted victim in the slum. Better than of this prison rot, if there's any choice I've got, kill me here on the spot. Better far my fight to wage now while my blood boils with rage, lest it cool with ancient age. Better bound for us to die than to Uncle Tom and try, making peace just to live a lie. Better now that I say my sooth, I'm gonna die demanding truth while I'm still akin to youth. Better now than later on, now that fear of death is gone, never mind another dawn. They opened fire on them, but they died telling it like it was.
Tonight we have as a guest in the studio a man of whom Time magazine once wrote, he is Hercules struggling through the 12 labors. He is Jason chasing the golden fleece. He is Galahad, Cyrano, D'Artagnan. When he scowls, Strong men shudder, and when he smiles, women swoon. The mysteries of the universe are his toys. He rattles the thunder, and he looses the lightning. Well, he's loosed a lot of lightning in his day, and he's going to loose some more of it tomorrow night in Croke Park. There's no man in the world, I think, whose name is more synonymous with sport today. He says he's the greatest, and maybe he is. I'm certainly not going to argue with him about that. And he says he's the prettiest. Ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome, please, Muhammad Ali. Well, do you think he is the prettiest?
No. I didn't say that. I don't know how that got out.
I wonder. Muhammad, you certainly look fit.
Thank you.
Have you been training very hard?
Yes, I've been working constantly now since my last fight with Joe Frazier, fighting every other month or two. And I just boxed Jerry Quarry, a top-notch fighter. I was in good shape for him. I fought him the first time, he was trouble, but the second time, a lot of the rust was off of him. And the reason he was trouble the first time was because that was my first fight in a 4-year layoff.
Right.
And so I'm ready now. I'm still active. And just needed to wipe a little dust off of it since the Quarry fight. I sat down a few days to rest, and I'm ready now.
You're doing a lot of fighting.
Well, yes, I think the boxing game should stay alive. I think every contender should get a shot at the title. The new champ, Joe Frazier, is not doing nothing, fighting once every 7 months, and fighting people that you could beat. And you can't fight, so
It's all right.
I have to keep the game alive because I'm the true champion.
How do you feel about the fight with Al Blue Lewis?
Well, I'm fighting Lewis for one reason, mainly because Frazier won't fight him. George Foreman, top-notch fighter, won't fight him. Jerry Quarry wouldn't fight him. And with most boxers and managers, this is just a business, and they figure, well, they got a top contender, and he's barely on top, and they don't want to take a chance and lose unless they're paid great. And top-notch fighters fighting Blue Lewis can't receive the proper pay because he's not famous, but yet he's got a chance of beating them, and they have nothing to gain but everything to lose. So I'm fighting him because everybody else is dunking him, and he is a good fighter. Plus, it'll be kind of hard to bring a top-notch, hot-ranking fighter here because the price can be put up. So
what sort of chance does he have with you?
2 chances.
What are they?
Slim and none.
I asked for that one. Angelo Dundee is just handing me a piece of paper to say that you're supposed to go to fight in Tehran in about 3 weeks' time.
Iran and Tehran, yes, we're going to just exhibition, government invitation, and we're working on it now.
So your next big fight, really, I suppose, is with Patterson.
More Patterson, right, the rabbit.
A rabbit?
I call him the rabbit.
Why is that?
Oh, the way he fights. And, he calls me Clay. His name is now Muhammad Ali. He still insists on Clay, so I'll call him the rabbit. Once I'm going to fight the rabbit in the garden.
Madison Square Garden, of course. You then go on to fight Frazier, I gather.
Yes, if he comes out of hiding. He bought a plantation down in South Carolina, some chicken plantation. I know he's a slave, but he don't have to buy plantations. But,
what do you really feel about him?
Well, he's a good slugger. He's not scientific. He's rough. Physically, I know I beat him. I won 9 rounds. He's already ugly, and I beat him so bad that night. I beat him so bad, and he was so ugly after that fight, his face should have been donated to the Bureau of Wildlife.
You know, he toured here with a show.
I heard he flopped like he do everywhere else. He's got a singing group called the Knockouts, and he thought because they gave him my title, he could go everywhere and draw people and get rich. And I understand he draws 80 people or maybe 1,000 people in the 20,000 seat arena. In London, in a 4,000 seat arena, he drew 12 people. But he had the nerve to keep on with the show.
He did a little better here. He got 87 at one, actually, and I think 1,041.
And I know I can beat him singing, but I don't call myself a singer. I can come here and fill every place because the people know who the real champion is.
But you have been a singer too. I mean, you had a show called Buck White, didn't you?
Yes, I was in a play called Big Time Buck White, a black militant play of problems that we have in America. The play was a flop, but I was a hit. The play lasted 6 days, but the worst critics on my part was a hit. I want to get that straight.
Why is it, do you think, that you draw the crowds of all the sportsmen in the world? That you are a great crowd draw.
Mainly personality's got a lot to do with it. Personality, like a salesman's business depends entirely on his personality. If he's rude and unsympathetic and the buyer will hope that he goes away and never come back. But very often, if the salesman is good, he can make a person buy and then don't even intend to. Same with a doctor. He might be the best of doctors. He might have many patients and give him all the medicine he wants. But if his personality is not really right, then his medicine won't make him feel that good. His personality will make him feel worse. But very often, a wise doctor can cure a person with word of mouth alone because they realize power of mind is needed. A lawyer can dishearten a client on one visit if you don't have a personality of victory. Like Joe Frazier, for an example. He's the champion, they say. Number one, he don't have the personality. He can't talk. Very few boxers can get on this show and match wits with wise men like yourself. Mm-hmm. And, wits is all I want to match with. And very few fighters, if you take the camera close up, you see my nose and my face. I'm not ugly. I'm not ugly like most fighters. They have noses like that. The ears are like that. How you feel, champ? I'm a pretty fighter. And I can, I have a personality. I know how to talk to the wine heads. I have to talk to the great Mr. Lynch here in the Parliament House, and I knew how to talk to men like you with less intelligence than myself. And, no, it's only joking. Just listen to the people laugh. Just listen to the people laugh. Just listen to them laugh. Very few comedians can do this, and that's their job. So like I'm saying, it's personality that attracts. I mean, people of all religions, like in America, I stand up for black people, and regardless of what it costs me, I speak out for what I believe. Like you got people in Ireland fighting for what they believe. I represent this. Also, the draft was something out of my religion teach against, and this made me popular with many people. Then you got the white racists who believe in separation, such as I believe one day the black people in America must go to self, clean up, self-help, self-do for self. I recognize them. Then you got all the Muslims in Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Syria, Lebanon, India, all throughout Kuwait, Abu Dhabi, all throughout Libya. They all recognize me because of the name Muhammad Ali. And yeah, all of this up, all I represent them, my confidence. I am the greatest. I cannot lose. I'm pretty. Every man believes he's the greatest. Every man would like to be the greatest. Many want to say this, but they fear it. And they see this in themselves, and some hate me for it, and some love me. So add it all up, and we have a large crowd. Boy, Joe Frazier's ugly. He's flat-footed. He can't talk. He can't sing. He can't fight. And no personality. No, he's a slugger, street fighter. Why do you say Joe Frazier's not? Don't get me wrong. Joe Frazier's good with his thing. He's not skillful. Joe Frazier's known for taking a lot of punches. He's not like Floyd Patterson, let's say Sugar Ray Robinson, or Joe Louis, let's say Jack Johnson, Jack Dempsey. These are great scientific boxers. See, Joe Frazier take 5 punches to hit you once. So
why do you think he beat you, Muhammad, then the last time?
Well, the reason that he got the decision. If you looked at my face and his face after the fight, both eyes were closed, his nose was blood, his lips was cut, his head was swollen, and he spent 1 month in the hospital. Did you all hear?
Yeah, sure.
He spent 30 days of intensive care. No phone calls, no visits. I mean, that's a terrible beating when you have to stay rest for 30 days. But he got the decision. But I'm not complaining. Next time I'll get him. I played too much with him. And plus, I find at the time I was bucking the draft system. I didn't go to the service. and I found out the 3 of the judges was on the local draft board. That's what I was.
We'll come back to that if we can in just a moment. But could we sort of go right to the beginning of your career? What made you take up boxing as a child in Louisville?
Well, at 12 years old, someone stole my bicycle. I went to a home show where they display cars and refrigerators and household utensils and everything. And I went there and left my bicycle outside and came out. It was a drizzling rain that night, Saturday evening, about 9 o'clock. The bicycle was gone. I just got it for Christmas. Somebody asked me, there was a police officer. And this was in the basement of the same building that I just came out. And a fellow named Joe Martin was training amateur boxers in a room about this size. And he asked me to take out an application and learn how to fight so I can beat the fella up in joking fashion. He stole my bicycle. So I started boxing.
This led you on eventually to the Olympics. Was this your goal as a child and as a young man? Did you see that the best thing you could ever do was to be an Olympic champion?
I knew nothing about Olympics when I started. Nothing. I just boxed just to get on the local television show called Tomorrow's Champions. Every week at Saturdays in Louisville, Kentucky, with a show called Tomorrow's Champions. And you've heard of the Kentucky Derby.
Sure.
That's where they have the races where I live. I live across the street from where they have a race every year. Anyway, I just wanted to get on local television. And I found out how good I was. And I kept on fighting. People say I'm conceited, I talk too much, but they must have pity on me. It's hard to be humble when you're as great as I am. I won the gold awards, the National AAU, and the Olympics. And then after the Olympics, I had all the gold medals, but no money. I turned professional.
You told a story on one occasion about coming back from the Olympics with the medal. To your own hometown. Did this make you a very big man in your own hometown? Did it completely change your life?
Well, made me popular for a few days, but I wanted to do something good with it. So I went downtown. At the time, black people was marching to eat in the white restaurants, and they wanted rights to go where they wanted to. And so I said, I'll take this medal and I'll go downtown and I'll sit down in a restaurant. I got on the spot now, and then I'll order something to eat. And I went down and I had my medal on, and the lady was looking. And I said, I'd like a cheeseburger. She said, we don't serve Negroes. I said, I don't eat them either. Just give me a cheeseburger.
How was it, Mohammed, anyway, to be a Negro boy in the South?
We say black now.
All right. Is it not the same thing?
What? No, Negro. We are taught that all people are named after country. Chinese are named after China. Cubans are named after Cuba. Irish people are named after Ireland. Indonesians are named after Indonesia. Japanese are named after Japan. Australians are named after Australia. But there's no country named Negro.
All right, then. I understand. Let me rephrase. What I really mean is, did you feel that you were deprived, that you and your family and other blacks were second-class citizens?
Did we feel it? We knew it. Not only second class, but about add up all the nationalities you have on earth, and then they come first. Like right now, you can come to my town, and you're more free in America than I am. Even the Chinese, the Japanese, that the black people helped America to fight, or even the Germans. A day after the war in Vietnam, the Viet Cong will be more of a citizen than the American Negro. So, like, we might be the 50th class citizens, 60th class, if you really break it down. Second, if we was just second class, it'd be all right.
This is something you feel very strongly about.
Strongly, I know it's the truth. Yeah, right there every day.
What attracted you then to Islam in the first instance?
The Muslim religion is the true teachings of Elijah Muhammad right there in America. No power structure, nobody will challenge him. And the history of ourselves, the history of our true religion, our nationality, our names. See, we don't have our names, I know how proud you all are. I'm proud of your names. See, Chinese have names like Chang Chong, Lu Qian. This is Islamic teachings. Russians have names like Kosygin or Khrushchev. You have names like O'Connor or Grady or Kennedy. And Africans had names like Lumumba, Nkrumah, and Jews got names like Weinstein and Goldberg, and Italians got names like Dundee and Benvenuti and Marciano. But we have names like Grady and Clay and Hawkins and Smith and Jones and Johnson, but we're black.
These are the slave names.
Yeah, so when I heard this, I knew it was the truth, it's history. So Muhammad Ali is a beautiful black name of our ancestors. So when I heard this, I just had to walk out of the church and Christianity because they never taught us our true knowledge. Then they told me how we were brainwashed in America. We see Jesus, he's white with blonde hair and blue eyes. We see the Lord's Supper, all white people. We see the angels in heaven, all white people. And we look at Miss Universe, a white woman, Miss America, a white woman, Miss World, a white woman. Even Tarzan, the king of the jungles in Africa, he was white. He said, we see a white man swinging in Africa, with a diaper on. He beats up all Africans and breaks the lion's jaw. And the Africans been in Africa for centuries, but he can't yet talk to the animals. But Tarzan, all of a sudden, some goat raised him up, and he can talk to the animals. So I'm just showing you how the black man in America has been whitewashed his mind. And then we look at the good cowboys, they wear white horses, and the president live in a White House. They got TV commercials, White House cigars, white swan soap, King white soap, white cloth tissue paper, white grain hair wrist, white tornado floor wax, white plus toothpaste. The president lived in a White House, and the angel food cake was the white cake, but the devil food cake was the chocolate cake. Everything good was white. And when I heard this, I said, boy, this is the truth. So our religion teaches us the knowledge of ourselves, the knowledge of our culture, the knowledge of our history makes us want to be with our own, marry our own, live with our own, clean up ourselves, do for self, quit forcing ourselves in white neighborhoods, but clean our own neighborhoods, makes us proud, makes us identify with our own brothers throughout the world. And after I heard this, being an intelligent man, and like I'm not only a winner in boxing or my stand on the draft, I'm a winner also in the movement that I follow for my people. And one of his leaders, Elijah Muhammad, who we believe was taught by Allah, God himself, to teach the so-called American Negroes the truth that's been hidden from them for 400 years, which will free them.
Why is it, do you think, that black Muslims preach the separation of the races rather than integration of the races, as indeed many American blacks do?
Well, when we say separation, we know that as of now, we always have to be trading with one another, living with one another. But when we say separate, we mean mainly mentally, as far as do for yourself, help self, clean your own neighborhoods and make a better place to live. Quit forcing yourself in white neighborhoods because they're cleaner. Respect your women, pool your resources, education, and qualifications for self-independence. And this is what we mainly teach about the separation. And one day, we believe that black people should trade with one another. We've tried integrating for 400 years. And we've been kicked and shot and brutalized. You read about the news for years, and it's not working. So we believe that we should now come and try to do for ourselves. And I understand this is some of the problem in Ireland, where people are tired of being dominated by certain groups. They're tired of being ruled, and they're men, and they want to do for themselves. Same way in all countries. People are just tired, and they're revolutionizing things, and they want to be free. We've been in America under white domination, lynched, killed, raped, castrated, shot down daily, no justice in the courts, deprived of freedom, justice, and equality, and we just now want to be free, and we can't do it. We have found out that with black and white are disagreeable in peace. They can't get along together. So we think we should just now quit fighting, quit being violent. Now that we're doctors, now that we're lawyers, now that we're mechanics, now that we're educated, we're not needed to pick cotton no more. We got millions of blacks been born every day in hospitals. There are no jobs. We think that we should now go on some land and build and construct and do for ourselves. That's the
You mean, in actual fact, that there should be separate parts of the United States, only for Negroes and separate parts only for whites?
Well, our Elijah Muhammad teaches us that We've been at 400 years fighting. We fought the Japanese, we fought the Germans, we fought the Koreans. If America went to war with Ireland tomorrow, the black people will be over here shooting you so fast. All the black people will be right here shooting with the American flag. And we believe that since we've been fighting all of America's enemies, not our enemies, worked 400 years, 16 hours a day from sun up to sundown without a payday, that we should now be repaid. Don't give us nothing and give us or repay us. You got 50 states, then we make up 10% of the population, then divide off 10% of the land, let us build our own stores, make our own, grow our own food, make our own soups, and be like other people. And not always begging white people for houses, begging for jobs, begging for seat in your restaurant. May I use your toilet? May I ride on your bus? Now that I'm grown and educated, now we're no longer slaves and we can't get along, just let me go and live by myself like other people. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Muslims, of course, don't believe in war. At least you certainly don't believe in war. You've demonstrated that by refusing to join the American army. But you've said on one occasion that possibly you could believe in a holy war.
Well, the Holy Quran, our religious book, teaches us that we who declare ourselves to be righteous Muslims do not take no part in wars, no way, fashion, or form, that take the lives of humans unless it's a holy war declared by God or Allah Himself. And like this hadn't happened, and if it do happen, then we'll have a way of knowing because our religious leaders speak out. But we don't take no part in wars, not just the Vietnam War, but no war.
But would you fight in such a war, in a holy war of this sort? I mean, how would you know that you should fight?
That's what I'm trying to say. Then we have a leader who will speak, like all countries have leaders. And we have a leader. And like if we attacked, and we're right, we believe in fighting if we are attacked, but not being the aggressor.
You go to South Africa very soon to box. Do you believe in the sort of separation of the races that they have in South Africa? What they call it?
Not from what I hear. I hear it's unequal. We believe in an equal separation. And we'll only fight in South Africa under the condition that the audience not coming to change their policies, not coming to talk about them. We've just been invited. Otherwise, we wouldn't go. And we might not still go, we don't know. But the audience have to be separate, which is the way this has got to be. But the black side has got to be equal to the white side in convenience and seeking capacity and everything. And we'll fight on those conditions.
But how will you feel if you go to South Africa and go into a white man's restaurant, if you should perhaps want to, and were refused it? Wouldn't this take you back to the old sort of Louisville situation?
No, I wouldn't. No, just if a man didn't want me in his place, I just leave. I wouldn't want nobody to force themselves on me, and I wouldn't be looking for no trouble like that. My mind's too big for that. I don't want to be around nobody that don't want me. I believe I'm the greatest. Well, I want to be with somebody that's less than me. I'm the greatest. They should want to be with me. It's me. I don't care.
Right. Elijah Muhammad has said something which perhaps a lot of us white people have misunderstood. Perhaps you can explain it to me. He said that white men are devils.
Yes.
What does he mean by that?
He means just what he said. The deeds and the works of the man. He says the American devils. The lynching, the killing, cutting the black people's private out, sticking it in the mouth is what they did to us. Got a book called 100 Years of Lynching written by a white man. Taking black women who was 4 months pregnant, they took us for years and hung us up with the feet and stuck a dagger in the stomach and ripped it and pulled the unborn baby out just to put fear in other slaves. They tied up black people to horses and 2 horses and pulled his arms out and pulled his legs out. Lemonade trains with white children and white people of America used to come and watch them tie 10 or 15 black men and pour gasoline on them and burn them, watch them burn alive. They took us and hung us up with trees and shot us with bullets. They cut a hand off and we gave it to a little boy and they took the leg off. And this is worse than the devil.
All right, but
you see, the devil, the preacher in the church taught us that the devil was up under the ground.
Right.
And he'll wait till he died before he burned us up. This white devil in America was worse because he burned us while we was alive. He didn't wait till we died. So what I'm trying to say is the deeds and the works. And I think this, if Elijah Muhammad can stand in America for 42 years before my little black self was born and say that the American white man is the devil, then the white man should get up and say you are a lie and carry him to court and say we are not the devil. Not one American, not one government official, one mayor, one senator, none of them will stand up and say that they are not devils and this man is lying. So what am I to do? Like, I believe it.
Do you believe that every white man is a devil? I mean, Angelo Dundee, Harold Collins.
Angelo Dundee's Italian. He's got a lot of black blood in him. Harold Conrad's Jew.
So there are exceptions.
No, listen. What I'm saying to you is this. I'm saying that Elijah Muhammad, our leader, teaches us this, and I believe everything he say. So it's not for me to prove that. You must remember, you have not lynched me. It wasn't the Germans that did this to us. It wasn't the white Canadians who's right on our border. He put emphasis on the American devils. He's missioned to America by God to preach the truth. So what I'm saying, let's say we got one white fellow in America who has proved that he means right. Let's say we got another one. White people have died in demonstrations for black people. Now, here's the position I'm in. There's 10,000 whites coming to kill me. And in those 10,000, let's say here's 10,000 rattlesnakes coming to bite me. And in those 10,000, there was 1,000 that didn't mean no harm. And I knew there was a good 1,000 snakes out there, but they all look alike. Now, what should I do? Should I keep the door open and let the 10,000 in, hoping that the 1,000 will unite and save me and one bite will kill me? Or should I just be safe and shut the door? So we have white people say, I mean right. I have a black husband. Oh, my children are black. I love everybody. I really believe you. But I'm sorry, man, there's 10 more thousand behind you that don't feel that way. I'm just sorry, but what am I going to do? So I like to say this, that I know, I'll bet my hand on my family's life now, that there's some whites that mean right and sorry that they were from this race. But there's so few until it don't really matter, until I can't forget all the lynching, all the depriving, all the murder, everything that's happened, because they're two that mean right.
Right, but
see, when America dropped bombs on Vietnam, she drops them.
Okay.
Babies, boys, when she dropped the bomb on Japan, she dropped it. They don't say some innocent, they just said war. So when a person in Belfast leave a bomb, they don't say, well, there's a kid, there's innocent in here, there's an old lady, she's blind. They just boom, throw the bomb. So what I'm saying, not because they do, we have a problem. It's black and white. And maybe there's a few bosses, I mean right. But there's so many that don't. So we have to look at the problem as a whole. I want to get that plain. I know there are whites that mean right.
Okay. You yourself have some little white blood in you.
Yeah, what do you say?
You feel totally Negro, or do you feel
black?
Yeah.
Well, nobody's really totally. Like Chinese are yellow, they say, but they're not really yellow. They say you white. Give me something white. You don't look white. Here's white. See, this is white. You're not white. You kind of pinkish.
Okay.
You're not white. See, that's
white. Right.
So I'm not black, but I'm considered black. But as far as the blood is concerned, some people say you talk so bad about us in America. You have white blood in you. How did I get white blood in me?
Well, you know,
way back 100 and some years ago, the old slave master's wife used to get tired. And he would sleep back in old Granny's shack. And old Granny had big hips. So she was pretty and had a big breasts and big legs. And she was strong. She worked all day to clean up the white lady's house, raise the white lady's babies. And the old white lady was tired and weak. And the old black slave was back there all strong. And he would slip back at night and close the door. And you know what he would do? You can guess what he would do. And then here come me, half black.
Let me get back to fighting just a moment. When a fight is coming up,
They laugh because they know what I'm talking about.
everybody knows what you're talking about. When a fight is coming up, you, it appears to me, deliberately build up a lot of pressure to intimidate your opponent.
And it intimidates the people. See, in America, the black people always talk to be humble. You know, yes, boss. I'm sorry. Hey, boy, break. Yes, boss. Yes, boss. And never has a slave got up and said, I am the greatest. I'm beautiful. I'm pretty. I cannot lose. They said, that nigger talks too much. The nigger needs a good whooping, and they pay money to see me beat. And I go to the bank laughing, 100,000, 200,000, 300. I am the greatest. That nigger talks, he's cocky. So like, this is why I build up. Like when I fought Jerry Quarry, I said the last of the white hopes. You know.
But I saw
So this builds up.
I saw you looking at Jerry Quarry at the weigh-in the other night on television last month, and you were giving him this stare, and he was staring back at you. Was he frightening you, or were you frightening him, or was neither of you frightening him?
Well, I don't think neither of us is frightening, but I'm psyching him, so he lets me know he's not scared. But I don't see him, I see me. I see people like you watching, but mainly in America. And they were looking and building it up to be a race war. I said, you don't stand a chance. I'm gonna run you out of the ring. And people in Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia, fuck that nigger! He talks too damn much! Hey, let's go see this fight! I don't really hate nobody, but people are so small-minded, it's easy to lead them. You know, you ever see the wrestlers? How there's always a good wrestler and a bad one. And he sticks his spade in his eye, and then he shakes it off in 2 minutes, his eyes clear up, and he sticks it in again, and he hits his back, and everybody hate him. He'll win the first round. And then the second round, the good fella wins, and that's what everybody comes to see, though. Bad villain be beat up. I like to be the villain. But the things I'm telling you now, I'm telling America on television because they're starting to like you. They say, oh, he's just tricking us. But when I get back to America, I'll be bad.
You talk to people in the ring. You appear
I want to smile, but I don't.
You appear to be talking.
What'd you say?
You appear when you're fighting.
I do.
Quite often.
I do. I
What
don't.
are you saying?
Well,
Or can you repeat that?
Well, some of them won't repeat. But I have a few things to say to not for the public, but to confuse my opponent. Like I might say to a white fighter, listen, while I'm in the clinch, the Black Panther's outside. You don't stand a damn chance tonight, boy. They'll burn your house down. You look at this guy's crazy. I have a lot of things I say.
Do you ever get into the ring hating the man you're
No, never. Do
you get in with anxiety or fear?
I'm nervous because of the talking that I do, and I have to back it up. I think about people. I'm on a hell of a spot. I'm on a heck of a spot. Can you imagine Blue Lewis whooping me? I couldn't go back to America. No,
Do you have any private life at all, man?
Yeah.
Because all the time I've seen you in Ireland, up in your hotel and back and forth, people are staring at you, looking at you, wanting to touch you, wanting to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm kind of like.
Well, you're a young man of 30. This seems to be a perpetual trot around the world that you do with people,
Well,
Hey.
when I'm out, I rest at night, so when I'm at home, like they have to say, a prophet is never honored in his own home. Like when I leave home, I expect this, I'm new. You let me stay here 1 year and they get tired of me. I'm less than that. You see me every day, I'm coming like the Beatles. When they hit America, at home they were nothing. Tom Jones, when he comes to America, me like when I come out, when I go home, I'm tired of that big man.
But the other day I
As soon as I get in.
The other day I saw a small boy sparring and boxing with you and so on. Do men ever try to do this? Does a man ever come up to you and say, look,
If he dreamed it, he better wake up and apologize. Never no trouble out of nobody. I don't have no trouble.
man, are you a wealthy man?
Yes.
I mean, are you a millionaire?
Oh, 2 times.
Are you a big spender? Do you spend a lot of money?
Yeah, I'm stopping now. Yeah, I got too many cars. I got 6 cars, 3 of them Rolls Royces, which I don't need. And you come up and pour, and you get something, and I find all of them tell me this, and you go out just to say I had it. You really don't need it. The newness wears off. You're stuck with it. You can't sell it. It depreciates. So I'm just saving money now. 3 daughters and 1 son. Blueprints for 6 more children. And we will save all I can. So all I'm doing now every month is saving at least 75% of my money for the future of the children. Put it away for 15 years. I don't want to touch it. I don't need it.
You've said that you wouldn't allow your son to become a boxer.
No.
Why not?
Because it's rough, it's dangerous. It's impossible for him to be as good as I am. And I want him to use his brains. I didn't stay in school like I should. I don't have an education. That's common sense. I don't have no education in books and writing. But I want him to go to school and be a doctor, engineer, maybe a lawyer, something, a judge. Where he can use his brains. And while he's at youth, give him a tutor, all the teachers he needs, put up all the money for all the education, where they can rely. Like, for an example, if I should lose a hand, I'm finished.
Right.
But a lawyer wouldn't, or a doctor wouldn't, necessarily. So I want him to get his brains ready.
A lot of boxers do end up broke. Are you better advised than other boxers as far as investments are concerned?
Well, I'm lucky that I have these before me to take an example. And I have mainly Herbert Muhammad, my manager, and wise advisor, the son of our great leader Elijah Muhammad. And most of them were just brutes, and they didn't have a brain, and they had people who were victims of the times using them, and they couldn't box and handle the business too. But I found out that many friends and people, they come to you wanting to borrow money. This happens every day. 90% of my mail from all countries is loan me some money. My daughter's sick. I'm trying to go through school. I want to come to America, this or that. I found out that the best thing to do is to have somebody to send them to. And he'll tell them that he can't, the budget is low.
The other day I heard Harold Conrad refer to you as the wizard. That you've got a lot of wizardry in you, that you can do a lot of things, you can see into the future, that you can put a hex on people.
Well, I can take, for example, to show you my power, some silver paper.
Cigarette paper?
Yeah, and I can wet it and fold it and hand it to me. And this is gold. I don't know if this will work. Maybe it's silver paper.
I have some silver. Let me see.
I'm not
Tell me you haven't got any. Here we are.
Yeah, I can take this right here, for example. You tell the people the truth, and it don't work. I don't make them powerful. I can take this here, and I can fold it up like this. And then you can give me your hand, and I can say you're just watching me and you concentrate. That paper's gonna get warm. So warm until it'll start smoking. And that paper will keep on until it gets hot. Do you feel it? Can I just say it for a second? Somebody from the audience? Because a lady coming real fast. Hey, lady, come here. Get a lady. Here's one. Here we are. Come here, lady. Here we are. Just take your hand and hold this. Quick before it cools off. Is that hot?
That's hot. I'm not fooling. I'm not fooling.
Is it hot? Okay.
He's a wizard. Thank you. Oh, it's still hot.
It was actually red hot. It's
That's
really
not
hot.
quite truthfully. The paper is quite truthfully. It's still hot. It's still warm. So I don't know how it's done. That's not bad. That's not bad. Now, to get back to things a little more serious, you were in the wilderness for 3 years because you refused to join the army. Do you have any regrets that you embraced the religion of Muhammad?
No. Well, you know, we are many people like when a man goes to war, he don't consider losing nothing. He's fighting for his country, what he believes. And we don't have no regrets. If it's something we do from our heart, we want to do. Like, I didn't have to do it. It's something I wanted to do, so I don't regret it. And I'm really thankful that I did. Got strong because of it. And many people believe in fighting for the freedom. And this is just part of what I believe. So there's nothing that I regret. Not at all. If I regret it, then it wasn't sincere.
But it lost you not only a great deal of money, but it could possibly have lost you your livelihood, in fact. it could have lost you your
Well,
whole career, isn't this
Well,
so?
no, it
Has it
wasn't.
been worth it?
Well, yes. I mean, I haven't really lost nothing. I'm back in boxing bigger than ever. My salary is double. I'm invited to Peking, Red China. I'm the first one since Nixon from America. Open invitation, wait while I want to go. I've been through all out of Arabia and Africa, met all the kings of the countries. And the peace, the world wants peace, and I represented it. And at the time, it wasn't too popular in America, and that's coming. And I'm not really, I don't pay no attention. And regardless to like many people are doing what I did and they go to jail for it. And you don't read about them. At least I was a case that the world watched. And if I had went to prison, I would have been a famous celebrity. I would have gotten fan mail. I would have got credit for my stand. But what about the people who nobody knows and they're doing it? So I look at them as being more great, I would say, than I am.
When the Supreme Court eventually decided that you were right and you had a perfect right to do this, you showed no resentment against the men who had kept you away from boxing. You were very quiet about
Then I
it.
would be a hypocrite if I did, because I expected them to recognize me for what I believed. And they did what they thought was right at the time they took my title. At the time they wouldn't let me box nowhere in the country. They just did what they thought was right. And for me to now to sue them or to condemn them or to speak out against them for doing what they thought was right, then this would be hypocritical. And at the same time, I expected them, although they didn't, to recognize me for what I believe. So how can I get on them for doing what they really believe was right?
Once or twice you've spoken, it seems to be sometimes sadly, about retirement. Do you still think of retirement?
Oh, I wanted to, but I thought about my children. I watched the baby cry another day, and my wife was late giving the baby milk, and the baby raised hell. Ah! Just hollering. Don't know where they're going to get it, but they just expect you to have it. And I looked at about six more coming, and I said, 10 years from now, we'll be fighting. 10 years from now, that baby will just be 10 years old. And I'll need money. He'll need school books. He'll need clothes, bus fare. And then 20 years from now, my daughter need a house or she'll need a job. And it'll be shame to say, Muhammad Ali's daughter, a waitress in a restaurant. He made all of those millions. Oh, there's his son over there. There's in here. What I'm trying to say, I can earn enough money in 5 years if I invest it and put it up right to take care of my grandchildren. So I wanted to retire, but after I see these children coming, and after I see that they're gonna have a hard time, maybe they won't be blessed to make it like myself. I can knock out Blue Lewis, I can go knock out Floyd Patterson, I can knock out Joe Frazier, I can come back, knock out if you get your Irish champion, come knock him out, then I can go back over here and knock something, then get you to laugh on that.
You're in Ireland. Agreed.
So what I'm trying to say, if I can save up about $2 million, which is about how many pounds?
That's almost £1 million.
Almost a million. If I save up £1 million, then I can relax and go to sleep and retire and don't have to worry about my children, because this is a hard world. Don't nobody give you nothing. You have to work for it. Right?
Right.
So I'm blessed to be able to beat up everybody. So I want to beat up everybody until I can't beat them no more. If I can go 10 more years, so I'm going to keep on doing it.
Good. Most of your poems, like the one you spoke a few moments ago, are funny. But you've written one about your own people, I think at the time of the Attica prison riot. It's a serious poem. You have certainly very serious moments, as you've shown us tonight. Could you, before we go, just say that poem for us?
Oh, this poem really explains the Attica prison. You heard that over here when all the black prisoners were shot? And just before, they held some white hostages, and they said they would cut the throats if they didn't get what they wanted. And the word was, well, if the throats are cut, then shoot and kill everybody. They found out during the autopsy that the throats were not cut. They just shot them for nothing. The trigger-happy policeman, and that Rockefeller gave word 10 minutes or so, if they don't give up, I think they went open fire. And one black prisoner came out to speak to the warden, and he said, you have 10 minutes to surrender. What's your reply? We're going to come in and shoot you. And the black prisoner came out with a poetic poem. This didn't happen, but this is what I wrote. He said, better far from all I see, to die fighting to be free. What more fitting end could be Better surely than in some bed where in broken health I'm led, lingering until I'm dead. Better than with prayers and pleas are in the clutch of some disease, wasting slowly by degrees. Better than a heart attack or some dose of drug I lack. Let me die by being black. Better far that I should go, standing here against the foe, is the sweeter death to know. Better than the bloody stain on some highway where I'm lame, torn by flying glass and pain. Better call in death to come than to die another dumb, muted victim in the slum. Better than of this prison rot, if there's any choice I've got, kill me here on the spot. Better far my fight to wage now while my blood boils with rage. Let it cool with ancient age. Better vow for us to die than to Uncle Tom and try, making peace just to live a lie. Better now that I say my sooth, I'm gonna die demanding truth while I'm still akin to youth. Better now than later on, now that fear of death is gone, never mind another dawn. They opened fire on them, but they died telling it like it was. Muhammad Ali. I have another thing to say.
Well, soulful and type of thing.
So,
Right there?
yeah. Come on, name soul.
You know, Glenn actually thinks, like you, had no pleasure from all the world, eating a lot of people from a lot of things.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of my questions answered.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there's still a few of my questions that remain unanswered.
Right. I hope we get to see
Perhaps by certain song together, maybe we can make the people understand exactly what we're talking about.
I certainly.
You ready?
I'm ready. You do.
Salute, 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 man. I listened to that yesterday. I found it. That's I think it was 1969. Glenn Campbell and Stevie Wonder. Woo! It kind of blew my mind. Just like that Ali speech, man. That blew my mind too. And I got some AK-47, the Toka 2 up here, man. And I don't even know why I came on here tonight, man. I was, I found that Ali speech, man. And I said, shit, man, I started listening to it, and I said, let me share that with the family, see what's up, man. Then I started thinking about Ali, and man, fuck, I'm an Ali fanboy from way back, resurrected over here, man. So I said, let me let me get up here and share a little bit of my Muhammad Ali stories, man. Let me shout out who's in here, man. I know we've been playing that for almost an hour here, so there's I guess there's a few people still in here, man. We'll just say, yeah, we still got 7 people in here, man. Thank you, everybody in here, man. I guess I'm not gonna go all the way back and shout out everybody, but man, you know, bro, you know me, man. Gratitude for coming in here, bro. And it's from the bottom of my heart. I'm gonna try to pull up an Ali fight because we're talking about Ali, man, and you know, I had the pleasure, man, of living through the Muhammad Ali era. Connor Loco, my brother, man. Thanks for coming in. Remy, John McSmith, Picasso, Mr. Pads, man. I want to shout you all out, man. But like I said, I was on here for an hour playing that speech, and fucking that shit like that moves me, man. You know, it makes me laugh. It makes me cry, man. I get my flashbacks with Muhammad Ali, man, because I've got so many Ali stories that I could share with you, you know. I guess, you know, a lot of cats from my era do, man, because it was like fucking, you know, there was boxing and then there was Muhammad Ali, you know, people who didn't give a shit about boxing, and boxing was big back then, but people who didn't know a boxing glove from a freaking a leather padded fur lined, whatever they say, but you know, it's people who had no clue of boxing. They all knew Muhammad Ali. And man, you know, I started my Ali fandom. I guess it was after he was suspended for refusing to introduction into the draft, and that's a story in itself, man. Excuse me. I got these dollar store Kleenex. I probably should have put myself on camera. I don't want them to blow up in my hand. But anyway, man, my first experience with the greatest. This is my experience tonight with this is the greatest. This is little AK-47 bud here, bro. Check this out under the camera. Nice red hairs on it. I'm trying to hold it still. I need a few more of these in me. I guess I'm shaking a little bit. Maybe just talking about Muhammad Ali, because really, man, he touches so many emotions with me. I mean, I had fights with my dad. My dad didn't like Ali, and my dad was a World War II veteran, man. I love my dad. You know, but me and my dad, we had, you know, we never. It was good arguments. It was arguments about boxing, about politics, you know, philosophies, and you know, my dad got it, man. You know, he fucking knew. He knew it, man. He knew what was going on, and I'll tell you a little story why he didn't like Ali so much. After the anniversary this Friday of Muhammad Ali and Sonny Liston, or Cassius Clay and Sonny Liston 1 is coming up, and the rematch, it was scheduled for the Boston Garden, and there were all kind of threats against Sonny Liston and Ali, and you know, it was Boston. You guys all heard the same band in Boston. Well, that was the Ali and Sonny Liston fight. It was banned in Boston. And the promoters were scrambling. They were looking for another arena. Providence didn't want him. New York didn't want him. I mean, it was tough to do. And I don't know. I guess they just didn't postpone fights. The fight had to go on. And they ended up in Lewiston, Maine, at the Lewiston Armory or Arena. But anyway, my dad went up there with a carload of his friends, and I'm sure they were drinking beer all the way up there. You know, I can't even remember how young my dad was, but I was only I was under 10 years old, 10, 11 years old. And my dad came back. He had gone to take a piss, and he missed the famous first round, the phantom punch, the knockdown. He came back. He had the beers. You missed it. And man, my dad, never again. I'll never go see a fight, and blah, 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 blah. And anyway, man, that became his hate affair with Ali. My love affair with Ali was when he refused the draft, because I was of age during the Vietnam War draft. You know, I was you know, I used to play army and play with guns when I was a kid. You know, and that was our thing, man. You know, we were shooting each other. We were almost grooming ourselves to go to war, because you know, all our parents were from the greatest generation, World War II, and you know, for Christmas we got toy guns and we got army suits, and but anyway, man, it was almost assumed. it's like we would watch Combat and Desert. I can't even remember the fucking name of it anyway. But they were all kind of war stories on television, and you just kind of groomed yourself. You were gonna join the army. You were gonna go to war, and Vietnam was the war right then and there. It wasn't televised like wars are televised today. It was actually the first war that was, but at the beginning it wasn't. You know, it was just like your duty. And you know, I had a lot of friends of mine older than me because I was just 18 at the time when they dropped the draft. I got a draft number 69. It was a low number, but anyway, man, I had friends of mine like the captain of the football team. He went to Vietnam, didn't come back, and you know this other guy, Jimmy Lombardi, man, they Lester Lombardi rather. They named a bridge for him in town, but you know, big deal, you know. But it got to be you know, what's going on here? This isn't like patriotism, you know. People just not coming back. This war is wrong, and Ali stood up for that, man. You know, Ali. He wouldn't have gone to war. He wouldn't have gone on the front lines, man. You know, he would have done exhibitions and, you know, man, you know, but it was just the principle of it, man. Ali was not going to fight a war. He was, you know, like he said, no Viet Cong never called me the N-word, man. And, you know, Ali just stuck to his guns. He was going to go to jail for his refusal to do that. He lost 3 years of his career, millions of dollars, man. Oh, you know, and that's when I'm like, man, Muhammad Ali is the man. You know, he's the man. Come on back, man. Come on back, champ. And at the same time, Joe Frazier's cleaning out the heavyweight division. You know, they had tournaments where they classified, I know, different WBA championship, and you know, it came down to Jimmy Ellis and Joe Frazier in the finals. And I remember listening to that fight on the radio. It's like one of the last fights I think was ever heavyweight championships. It wasn't on television, and I was too young to go to closed circuit. I think I was maybe 15 years old, maybe 16. You know, nobody had the money, nobody drove. You know, I mean, it was on a school night to boot. So anyway, man, that was the beginning of my love for Ali. And you know, when he was freed by the Supreme Court, you know, when he was found in the right for refusing to take the draft on the religious grounds. I mean, it was like a holiday, man. It was just yeah. Ali won. Ali's coming back, man. You know, when he came back, he fought Jerry Quarry, and he beat Quarry in the third round. But you know, there was something different. Ali wasn't his slick self. He wasn't the magic Muhammad Ali that you know. There's a fight that I want to bring up here, man. If anybody can remember this fight, let me get a little bit of alcohol over here. Remy, a World War II junkie, bro. I love it, man. I'm not a junkie of any war, man. I'm a junkie of peace. But you know, wars are terrible things, man. And I hope we're not on the verge of one now. You know, as I speak, the Russians and Crimea. I don't even know where these places in the world are anymore. All I know is it's a small world, and you know, things get out of hand in one quarter of the world, and they're going to affect other quarters of the world. And damn, you know, I pray for peace every day, man. I really do. But anyway, man, you know, Ali, he didn't go to Vietnam, and he was the man. You know, he was the brother. Ali he was defiant. You know, he was the first guy for, you know, the fist in the glove, bro. Ali was. It was too much. It was too much to bear. He was and plus on top of all that, man, he was my favorite boxer. Ali had the footwork. He had the head movement. He'd go back and forth. He was the only boxer in the world who could back straight up and not get hit. And when he did, he went down. He got back up again. But you know, Muhammad Ali. He came back out of the exile. He earned his way to a fight with Joe Frazier. It was a fast. I mean, we talk about now how these boxers are inactive and this and that. Ali only had after Jerry Quarry, he fought Oscar Bonavena. Then he went right to Joe Frazier, and he had a tough fight with Oscar Bonavena. That was they didn't like each other. Oscar Bonavena refused to call him Muhammad Ali once again, calling him Chicken Clay, and kind of like Rocky. He had the rubber chicken in his hand. And I mean, there was a lot of taunts going on. Ali punished him. Ali carried him a little bit, but it was a tough fight, man. Oscar Bonavena, tough guy. Next fight right away goes right in with Joe Frazier for the super fight, which was an event. It was something to live through, man. I mean, that fucking first Ali Joe Frazier fight it ripped the country in half, man. It was, you know, not only was it in the middle of the Vietnam War, which was raging, but it was also a part in time where it was like the hard hats, the Patriots, whatever you want to call them. I guess they were the love it or leave it generation, and they had freaking baseball bats and sticks, and then there were the Ali's, the anti-wars. It was a clash, man. It wasn't just boxing. Boxing almost had nothing to do with it, but Frazier seemed to be on one side and Ali was on the other side, and it was generational. It was wild. It was fighting in the streets. It was cops getting in the middle of it, busting heads open, and riots. And I mean, it was a crazy time. It was the hard hats, the Chicago 7, bro. It was fucking it was history, man. Too much for me to blab about. Tay, man, thank you for coming in, man. Class up the joint for a few, man. Peace. But anyway, man, that was the beginning of the 70s. It was like that. And Muhammad Ali, he lost to Joe Frazier, and man, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe Muhammad Ali lost. And a lot of people were like that, but Ali, he don't be afraid for me. I'm coming back. This was nothing. Ali swears he won 9 rounds of that fight, and I look back on it, and I'm with Ali, man. I'm with him, man. Excuse me. But anyway, man, Ali came. Joe Frazier won that fight, and Joe Frazier, he didn't really do anything, man. He got beat up so bad in that fight. He spent a month in the hospital after that fight, and they said he couldn't piss for days. He was really hurt, and he got beat up. Ali was just pounding Joe Frazier, combination. But Joe Frazier, he had that left hook, dropped Ali, didn't give up. I mean, it was such a close fight. You can watch that fight over and over again, and man, great fight. But anyway, Ali went on. Joe Frazier went on to get beat by George Foreman. Ali went on to get beat by Ken Norton. So that fight was like, there's no rematch for that. That was a huge shit, man. 150, bro. Thank you for coming in, my brother. So the rematch didn't happen for a long time on, and after like I said, man, Ken Norton beat Ali. George Foreman beat Joe Frazier. So you had the inevitable. You had Ken Norton, who was looking pretty damn good. He went in there against George Foreman, who looked like invincible, and he was, man. He destroyed Ken Norton. But my brother Ali just healed and went on. He rematched Ken Norton after that too, and he beat Ken Norton in a close fight. Ali and Ken Norton, man, they go either way. They're probably going at it right now, and it's going to be a controversial split decision because those two, they're just like Joe Frazier. They would just tangle with each other. Ken Norton was too close to Frazier, so he never fought Frazier. But you had the triangle with Foreman and Ali and Joe and Ken Norton. That's why people say, man, you can't count on triangles, and that's the perfect one right there. Ken Norton gave Ali hell for 15 rounds, for 12 rounds and 15 rounds, and yet he goes in there with George Foreman. He gets annihilated. George Foreman annihilates Ken Norton. You think he's going to do the same to Ali? Ali just he's just proved he was the greatest, man. Ali, truly the greatest. After that, after he regained the title from George Foreman, then there was that great thriller in Manila. Joe Frazier. Everybody thought Frazier was through, but man, what a fight that was, and that's something that I could watch that fight again and again, man. Ali and man, all the Ali Frazier fights, even the second one, it was only for the NABF title. It was the fight that they went 12 rounds. Ali won a decision, almost knocked Frazier out in the second round, but those two, man, they were just made that whole era. Man, what a beautiful era of heavyweights, and Mount Rushmore era of heavyweights. But I dug up a fight here a few minutes ago. It's one of the great Ali fights, man. It's one of the fights with Ali. They say he never looked better in this fight.
Throughout the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom, in this boxing ring you'll see a World Heavyweight Championship. In a 15-round contest for the Heavyweight Championship of the world. Muhammad Ali, born Cassius Clay, called by many the fastest man ever to win the title, defends his title against the greatest knockout artist.
Yeah, we'll check this out, man. This is Muhammad Ali and Cleveland Williams. You know, and, if anybody out there, man, if anybody wants to, if anybody has any fond memories of the greatest Muhammad Ali, man, yeah, you're more than welcome to come up here and share them. You know, this right here, this was Muhammad Ali and Cleveland Williams, and some say it was the greatest performance by Muhammad Ali. He danced in this fight. He hit Cleveland Williams with such unbelievable punches. Macadocious Mac of the South, my brother. Salute, bro. Thank you for coming in. Jed Kiley, my bro. I got somebody in. No, that's me in here. I was looking in the background. I'm sharing the screen with myself over here. But anyway, man, Jed Kiley. Con Shawnery, man. Hey, man, 2 nights in a row, maybe a little too much for me, but I was just going to do that speech, and I said, let's watch a little Ali. I could be doing this by myself, but with, you know, the modern technology we have at our disposal, I figured I'd share this with my brothers, my sisters out there, anybody that wanted to stop in. And, man, I appreciate you guys stopping in, man. Me and the Toka 2 sitting here, getting a good buzz on a Wednesday night, man. I'm probably stepping on people's toes and whatever it may be. But anyway, man, I got Brandon in here. Brandon, my brother. I want to let you in. I see you around.
How's it going?
What up, my brother?
Salute to you, Bruce. The
Wait a minute.
OG.
Let me turn this down a little bit, bro.
Are you sure? Go ahead.
All right, man. Go ahead, Brandon. What's up, my bro? I see you around, man. I don't think I've ever been on a panel with you. How you doing, man?
It's been pretty good. I mean, I'm always with you with Matt Chad. In his Matt Chad.
Not in a while though, have we?
Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't been to Matt Chat in a while, but it's just I've been busy. I mean, I have a lot of personal stuff, but
So you
yeah.
got any memories of Muhammad Ali, brother?
To be honest, I never seen Muhammad Ali fight while he was alive. I mean, I only watched highlights.
Oh,
So
most people. I understand that. Most people haven't,
Yeah.
bro. I mean, I'm a relic, man. I've seen Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
You know, shit,
I'm from the generation of Manny Pacquiao. I mean, watching Manny Pacquiao.
I hear you, man.
So, but I mean, yeah, like based on what the OG said about Muhammad Ali, like Muhammad Ali was a relic. Like he was like a giant, not just in the ring, but also outside the ring. You know, with the whole Vietnam War boycott, like boycotting the Vietnam War, and you know that's how Muhammad Ali is known for, like outside the ring and also inside the ring too. But people know Muhammad Ali more for his, antics, like I am the greatest. Uh I am the greatest. Like it's just people know Muhammad Ali more than his outside uh antics than in the
Oh
ring.
no. Well, you know something. You're right, because that's what leaves his legacy, and especially to a lot of people who even transcends boxing. People who never watch boxing, they know who Muhammad Ali is. They know, like you said, the greatest, and he's got so many sayings and so many poems, and just so much outside of boxing. But in the ring, man, this was Ali at his best. You know, granted, Cleveland Williams he was at the end of his career. I think he was shot. He might have even had a bullet in him at the time of this that couldn't be taken out. But Muhammad Ali just shows you just the beauty of him, the poetry in motion, throws punches going backwards. Just great stuff. John McSmith, 40 years old too nearly, and Ali was in his Fact. Ali was in his prime for sure. Man.
Something that's funny. Someone, John McSmith, he said, a Larry Merchant avatar. Something that's funny is that Larry Merchant, was in the fight between Sonny Liston and like I'll send you the link to the image like that. A young Larry Merchant, witnessed Muhammad Ali knocking out Sonny Liston. Yeah, I sent you a link at the private chat. So yeah,
You mean is that the one where I mean I'm sure it might be. Let me see the private chat.
yeah. As you scroll down, like you're gonna see Lyra Merchant's face expression.
Yes, yeah, that's like see underneath Ollie's legs right there.
Yeah.
That's Larry Merchant next to the bald headed guy. When Ollie's got Liston starched on the ground, that's Larry Merchant's picture right there, bro. I know he's been there. You know, I know the what you're talking about. But did you know that was Larry Merchant's picture between Ollie's legs?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, that's old folklore, bro. I mean,
That's history that cannot be
and like
erased.
and like I mentioned earlier, my dad was at that fight. He went to the bathroom. He missed Sonny Liston getting knocked out, a phantom punch.
Damn.
But anyway, Cleveland Williams in the ring right now. And this is
I bet your dad was darned to miss it.
what was that again?
Nah, I said I bet he kind of felt he regretted going to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, man. But hey, my dad was a kid. I was gonna say younger than me because I think of my dad as older than me. But my dad never even made it as old as I am. So, my dad
Yeah.
died at 51, which is, I thought he was an old man. I thought he was old, but man, it's mind blowing. But I mean, he did a lot in those 51 years. And man, if nothing else. He can say he went to a heavyweight championship fight. I can't say I did that.
Yeah, at least he could say that.
Yeah. But anyway, man, this is the start of the fight, and this was vintage Muhammad Ali. He just looks so good in this fight. I mean, we're
I
gonna
could
see
see
the
that.
Ali
Yep.
shuffle. We're gonna see combinations. We're gonna see Ali's laser like jab. We're gonna see defense, and it's just this this fight is just memorable.
I could
You
see
know,
the same.
it's before my time, bro. I don't remember this fight. All I remember is after I was an Ali, a fan of Muhammad Ali. I remember hearing, oh yeah, you got to see Cassius Clay versus Cleveland Williams and Ernie Terrell, and all these fights that I was just too young to remember, but they were recent history and stuff that's now it's so cool. You can go on YouTube and pop them up, and I love it, man.
I
What's
wish
happening in boxing this week? We got the Josh Taylor fight. I'm looking forward to that this
Josh
weekend,
Taylor.
man.
I'm excited for that fight too. I love Josh Taylor. And what was I gonna say? I was just gonna say I wish there was like a website that has boxing archives, boxing like eh, I know it would be hard because you would have to archive every single boxing fight, but I believe that there should be like an archives of like in some fights that aren't that are like in not in good quality. It should be archived in like in good quality because you see almost every fight, like every old fight, they're like in bad quality. You got what I'm saying? Like it should be in like in good quality.
I find a lot of those out there, man. And they come up in my library because I hardly watch anything but boxing and a lot of music too. But You know, because you start watching a couple of fights like this, and you'll get all these different um, uploaders who go out and they get these good fights, really good versions of them. This one I didn't go out in there. My brother Khan said there's a colorized version of this, but I didn't even look for it. I just wanted to. I mean, dude, I tell you, man, I wasn't. The last thing in my mind was coming on and doing a live YouTube tonight, man. I was just. I got my. I got a delivery today. I got a T-shirt, a Marvin Hagler and Thomas Hearns T-shirt. So I was happy today. You know, that came. You know, I was just gonna hang out, and then I started listening to this Ali interview, man, with this Irishman. I can't remember the guy's name, but it was from 1972, and that was the year I graduated high school, and that was the year that I became a real fan of Ali. I was anti-establishment, man. But you know, whatever they wanted me to do, I didn't want to do. You know, they wanted you to get a haircut. I didn't get a haircut. You know, it was just you know, it was fuck the man kind of time. You know, crazy time. Just
go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna say it was crazy times, man. People were taking psychedelic drugs, the stuff they're talking about, the ayahuasca, man. That we used to take fucking acid on weekends, for Christ's sakes. Get the same, you know, just trip. But anyway, big thing back there. Journeyman Black, salute my brother.
Salute to you, Journeyman Black. Someone said you gotta get Mr. Doc on the panel to talk some Ali.
Oh
it
yeah,
depends
man,
on
Mr.
the
Doc,
viewpoints.
man.
Hopefully,
Well, if we get Mr. Doc
like
on the
like
panel,
having
nobody else is gonna talk. That's for sure. But yes, you're right.
he's
Mr. Doc's
Ali
and Ali.
fan, that's
Me
for
and
sure.
Doc, we can go back and forth with Ali stories. He'll tell me fucking stories I don't know. I'll tell him stories he doesn't know. And oh yeah, Mr. Doc's always welcome on a panel with me, man. You know, unless he's totally bombed and we don't really have a topic, because Mr. Doc, he just goes on and on with them stories. Man, sometimes I can't take him, man. I'll tell you. I think I put him on mute one time. He was on my panel. And he just went on. I said, Doc. But then there were other times where he shuts up. Somebody just jumped back in here. Let's see, who do I got that came in here, man? Oh, my fucking word. God damn. What is this? That fucking movie where we say Mary.
My ears were burning. My ears were burning, Briscoe.
God, Doc, how the fuck are you, my brother?
Hey, I'm just a step behind you. Give me 1 second.
I'll catch up to you.
You know, I shut up when he talks about Ali, but sometimes he's a contrarian at times.
Oh, hang on.
If you're gonna talk, Brandon, if you're gonna talk, bro, get it out now, because once Mr. Doc gets on here.
I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better. Sorry, Brandon. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, sometimes, you know, you're a contrarian at times, but there's nothing wrong with it. There's not.
Oh, it's very deliberate because
Ali.
I've
Look
told
at
people
Muhammad
many
Ali,
times.
Doc. Look at that footwork. Oh my.
I know.
Oh,
Now, old men repeat themselves, so forgive me if I've said this too many times before. But Vince Lombardi, I assume you both know who Vince Lombardi is. He said Muhammad Ali was the best athlete he ever saw. Think about that.
and look at Ali just keeping that distance. He's not getting hit. He's just sticking that jab out. He's got his hands almost on his hips. This is just and the sneaky right hand.
And the perpetual motion, being able to keep that up.
Yes, I could, bro. You know, the main reason why people take that particular drug is because it's a hallucinogenic. But yet, it does pretty much the same thing as all hallucinogenics do. And I've done, I'm going to say, almost 10 different hallucinogenics. Maybe even if I started thinking about them, the psilocybin mushrooms, the morning glory seeds, the different versions of LSD, the mescaline. I mean, oh shit, man. You know, I've tripped on many, many different kinds of things, but see the ayahuasca, that's done with shamans. They go through a whole ritual, and the ultimate journey in that is what they do is they try to break down your will and get into your inner mind and find, it's a crazy thing, man. There's actually a Hayabusa thing 100 miles from where I'm sitting up in New Hampshire. And I was looking at it online, and it's run by these old hippies, man. Doc, you might remember Baba Ramdas, Richard Alpert.
Oh, Ramdas, yeah.
Timothy Leary, dead now. Ramdas is dead too. But I think it has to be their followers.
What was it? Tune in, turn on, drop out.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and they have this a retreat up in New Hampshire where you pay like $700 for a weekend, and all included, and you do the ayahuasca tripping, and this is it's something where I don't think it should be fucked with, man, because I've done many trips, and there can be very many different outcomes from it. It's nothing to fuck with, bro.
The environment. There's a reason those places you just described exist, and it's because, like I think we talked about the other day, the environment is.
Yeah, he's 100% right. Mr. Pads is right out there, because that's what it's advertised as. But you know how many things can go wrong when you're first of all, when you're dealing with the plant, you're extracting the chemical from it. You're not getting a standardized dose. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what they give me and what they give you might be vastly different. It's not like it's a controlled chemical, like a chemical dispersion of it. But and that's just one of the things. Another thing is, man, these aren't doctors. I don't know if they have medical staff nearby, because people can actually have heart attacks doing that. They can have serious psychological breakdowns. Things that a shaman, the guy with a fucking hood on, a white hood, and a cotton fucking operating pants on. They're not gonna. I don't know if maybe they are, maybe they haven't, maybe they've experienced that. I don't know, but I wouldn't fuck with it, man.
Right. Well, you got you. That's the thing. It's we both to do it. You have to have the proper environment and those kind of people around you. But like you're saying, Bruce, how do you know? How does one know, right, that the person they're dealing with knows what the hell they're doing? You get me? And is going to put them in that right environment. And more importantly, keep that environment. Once you're in, you need those people there that are going to keep that environment. You know what I mean? On an even keel. You get me? As in, identifying possible, we'll call it bad trip-inducing things, and eliminating them before they can cause a problem. You got to have very, experience. That's experience to be the best word I can come up with for it. Sorry, I digress.
No, I understand 100% what you're saying, and I don't know what Mr. Pad said. I'll have to, I don't know if we I salute it. Okay, yeah, okay, here we go.
Yeah. I'm reading it now. That's the idea. That's
what it's advertised as. And the brother asked another question on there about this one here, man. See, now that's something I don't think that's going to be readily available for you, bro.
Right. But
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of those answers are in litigation somewhere too. Yeah. It's look at Ali dropped Cleveland Williams, man.
Backing up. He's backing up what he did too.
Yeah, you know me. I start getting off on these tangents when whatever people ask, I like to talk about. And I had nothing planned tonight, Doc. It's a pleasure to see you here, my bro.
I appreciate you having me.
Here we go. Look at Cleveland Williams trying to corner Ali. Ali's tying him up. Ties him up on the inside. Muhammad Ali's back dancing, perpetual motion all the time, constantly circling to his left, man. Staying away from Cleveland Williams' right hand. Okay, I mean, he's just, that jab.
Lead left hook.
It's the first knockdown. I think Ali's actually going backwards when he drops him.
Yep.
Oh, the Ali shuffle. There we go. And he just nailed him with a right hand, backing up. Cleveland Williams going forward.
Oh, right
Oh.
lead backing up has always fascinated me. The way he could get leverage on that. I mean, that is so hard to do. To get leverage, you know what I mean, while you're moving backwards.
Beautiful
It would be
stuff.
very interesting to see how Muhammad Ali would do in today's era, where guys are like 6'5", and because you got Muhammad Ali, he's
Oh,
super
there it was.
agile, super mobile, as you see in that film. It would be very interesting to see how he would do in today's era.
He'd be Usyk on steroids, essentially.
Yeah, he's very much Usyk on steroids.
He's so fluid. He's big enough because he's a little over 6'3".
Oh.
Another knockdown.
Yeah, he was 6'3", 6'4", and he was give or take here he's probably about more towards 215, but he could be okay all the way up to about 230, and he was strong, way stronger than he looked. If you notice, not just not just this fight, but
I'm just so captivated with Ali. What a fighter, dude. I mean, and he's a heavyweight too. You don't see heavyweights do that. You see Tyson Fury try to do that. He looks like a buffoon. I mean, Muhammad Ali was just poetry in motion.
He just made it look easy. That's all it was to it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Between the hand speed, the fluidity, the perpetual motion, the anticipatory defense, and the mental toughness, and like I said, he's a very underrated strength. Physical. I'm just talking about like when they grapple. He was not going to get just pushed around. He was able to push guys like George Foreman and move them around in pitches. Really, really, really strong guys. Ron Lyle. He was able to move him around in the clinch. Ron Lyle's incredibly strong. So I know.
Look at those feet. Look at those feet moving before he even gets out there. You look at Cleveland Williams just saying, "What the fuck is this character doing across us? Who is this I'm walking into?" Just nailed him with a little inside left hook. Oh, the right hand over. And Cleveland Williams decided to do more stand-up boxing here, going flat-footed, starting to lean on that. Oh!
That right lead again, bro. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
are you kidding me?
Damn.
Left uppercut.
Oh!
The right lead
again. Neutral corner, Ali. Look at him. He doesn't care if they don't resume the corner, the count.
That right lead's like almost too fast for the eye.
Oh, stop this fight. Oh.
Yeah. They would have stopped it long ago in today.
But see, Cleveland Williams is trying to throw that jab, and I don't know if Ali's giving him a false sense of confidence. It looks like he could have nailed him right there, but he didn't.
Yeah. Oh, right again. Now so they didn't wave it off when my man was flat on his back, but when he was standing. What do we got here? Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, Frazier was insane, though.
Great stuff.
Yeah, man.
What Ali fight you like, Doc? We'll try to go down there and see what we can do.
Well, okay. Let's try and think outside the obvious ones. Yeah. Doug Jones. The Doug Jones fight.
Which one?
Doug Jones.
All right, let me see if I can find it. I'll have to get off here. Con Shaughnessy, brother, what's happening?
Hey, brothers, how's it going, man?
Hey, what's up, dude?
You know us, bro.
How's it going?
I had.
I'm glad you stopped down, brother. I'm just enjoying the Toka 2, man.
Battling Muhammad Ali's. We both got Muhammad Ali avatars, so I thought I might as well jump in.
Excellent. But yeah, the Doug Jones fight. Now this is the title eliminator for the fight versus Liston. To give everybody some context here.
Let's see.
So
here,
this was number 1 and 2 contenders at the time. And kind of looping around, tying into something somebody mentioned earlier, right, about how he fared against the bigger fighters today. To me, the bigger fighters, he'd have an easier time with. If you look at his career, the guys he's had harder times with were actually the guys smaller than him. We'll see Doug Jones here in a bit. Joe Frazier. Oh God, who am I forgetting here? There's a couple. Oh, Oscar Bonavita, just to name a few.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's standing on the Madison Square Garden in New York City. Once again, the famous landmark and becoming the mecca of boxing. There is one young man who has made this all possible. He is a 21-year-old heavyweight from Louisville, Kentucky, named Cassius Marcellus Clay.
Sean Connery, what's happening, brother? What brings you up here, man? It's so good to see you, bro. I think you grace me when you come up here, bro.
I didn't expect
Focus,
you to
bro,
do
my
another
brother.
live.
Salute, man. I'm over here smoking some kick-ass bud. I'm smoking some AK-47.
Two in a row,
man.
Bruce.
What's that, my brother?
It said 2 in a row, right? What brought that about?
Oh no! I think I'm the only show I've ever seen you on, brother. I'm honored, man.
This show? I've been on your show a couple times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. But it's only my show, and I'm cool with that. I'm digging it, bro. I just want. Right now, I'm going to let's see. Will I be able to? Yeah. See, focus ball. That's what I'm smoking, bro.
There you go.
That's what it is, man. That's what it is.
That'll cure what ails you.
You know it, bro. You know it. All right, let's see. I want to get back into my.
What are you putting on? Is this a Doug Jones fight?
Yep. I was just telling everybody the little background to it. It's the title eliminator for the Liston fight. So it's number 1, number 2. And I also pointed out, kind of dovetailing something that someone brought up earlier, how he fared against bigger fighters like Days. I don't think he'd have that much problem. The guys that troubled him the most were the guys smaller than him. Frazier, Doug Jones, as we're going to see, Bonavina, guys like that.
Oh yeah. But now this fight right here, Ali was considered to be a showing, or were they both up and coming?
No, this is one in number 1 and number 2, baby.
Yeah, okay. This is right fourth here. Yeah,
yes,
this is 63, right?
Yes.
So this fight, my father-in-law was born in 1942, so he was the same age as Muhammad Ali. They saw this fight and they thought that seeing this fight, on the back of this fight, there was no evidence that he had any chance beating Liston. Exactly. Because he thought a lot of them scored this fight for Jones.
Yep.
This is a controversial fight.
It's a great fight. It's a fantastic fight.
It's a great one. A lot of back and forths, a lot of action. I still think Ali won it. I think he justifiably won it. But when my father-in-law saw this, none of them had picked Ali.
Oh yeah. This is my historical understanding of it. I was born in 60.
Because he didn't put Doug Jones down once. He didn't. No. He might have dazed him, buzzed him a little, but he wasn't.
Let's not give too much away for the people that haven't seen it. But to your point, this fight actually increased the notion that Liston was going to blow Ali out of there.
Absolutely.
This made it
even
more of a one.
I could see some parallels. I could see some parallels between Usyk when he fought Chisora, and people were saying that Joshua would beat Usyk. So I could see some parallels between what you guys are saying with Doug Jones arguably beating Muhammad Ali, and then people thought that Sonny Liston would beat him. So I could see some parallels.
It's the styles
exactly.
Beat me to it.
Adage.
Yep.
you'd have no idea, because then when you go into Liston, it's like Liston can't lay a glove on him. But with this one, it's very competitive.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I can remember people saying that Ali lost this fight, and they didn't have a rematch, did they?
No.
No.
Hey, later on, George Chuvalo knocked out KO Doug Jones.
Okay.
Yep.
And see, that's when fighters didn't hang on to that. Oh, I beat him. I want to rematch him. I'm going to lay low. He lays low for 2 years. They didn't do it back in those days, man. They fought each other. And George Chuvalo, you're not going to knock him out with anything less than a shotgun. And even then, man, maybe not.
Oh,
yeah.
Freaking nature, George Chuvalo.
Well, back then they'd fight each other another 6 weeks later too. So
Ali was busting Frazier's balls for only defending his title every 7 months. I mean, right now that would be really. He only defends his title once every 7 months. What kind of champ is that? I mean, shit. Yeah.
And when Frazier signed to fight guys like Ron Stander, Ali went crazy over that.
Oh.
Yeah. See, like I said, they had the
leaning back against punches, and you know what? They actually announced that the ringside announcer called that one. He said that's going to get that guy into trouble at some point.
And Doug Jones was small too. What was he, about 190 pounds?
Yeah, he was basically like in light heavy territory. Then again, Ali was light heavy a few years earlier.
Yeah. Just Ali moved like a middleweight, you know. He moved like a welterweight.
He was fast.
Just incredible. But you're so right about Doug Jones. It's almost like who was that Guyanan who fought Oscar De La Hoya?
Which guy?
Oh! I know what you're talking about.
Corte.
Corte, right, yeah.
This almost reminds me of Corte, the way Doug Jones fights. You know, explosive, drop. You know, I don't know. It just kind of it just has that style where.
Oh, because
you let up, you get locked on your defenses, and bang, you're going to be on your ass.
Well,
and he's got a little bit of that. He's got a little bit of that bob and weave to his game too, the head movement.
He did, but Jones was an in the pocket fighter. I mean, he didn't. His durability waned down the road.
Ali just got caught moving straight back again with a jab.
Exactly. Yeah. It's only with those feet. It's his athleticism that helped him get away with that.
Oh, look at the
Yeah. And then Jones, I'll bet you anything, Jones had a really good reach for his height, because that was also another thing that would give Ali problems, because he would he'd expect to be in the safe zone.
Ali's still pulling back. He's still pulling back after he gets nailed. He's still pulling back.
Focus Ball, if you want to come up here, bro, I'm smoking some good weed. Want to do some Ali talking, bro? Maybe we might bend your ears a little bit here, but bro, I mean it's worth it, because I'm learning stuff too, bro, and I'm probably older than both of these guys. Maybe not. I don't know, man. But
you were talking about 1972, Bruce. That's the year I was born. There you go.
That's the year I graduated high school.
Here's the signposts.
I think that's the year I did acid, man. That's the year I did the psychedelics. That was fucking. That was like fucking people were taking their clothes off to go swimming. That was a year that there was no AIDS, bro. If you had a date with a girl, you almost guaranteed to get laid. It was, fucking hippies are still hanging around, but they were clean. They, I think that there was the invention of herbal essence. So
free love, man. In the beginning,
and they shaved their armpits and everything, man. It wasn't like fucking dirty hippies.
And you just got right in that time period, birth control.
Oh yeah. Well, abortion was legal and shit back then. I mean, they used to go to New York with girls. It was kind of fucking sick and weird, but you're right. They had birth control wasn't really thought of too much, because it was girls were getting knocked up, and a lot of kids got married, a lot of babies got born. But people took responsibility for what they did, man. You didn't see a lot of fathers that ran away and stranded the girls. that didn't happen till the 80s, you know, till the cracking in and shit.
Birth control was
70s
a huge gateway,
and
though.
plus in the 70s, you could go get a job almost anywhere if a good job, you know, for the time. You could get a job where you could buy a house. And
Oh,
that's
big
just
time. Well, back then you had the one income household, right?
I mean, if you're in a fucking city, man, Detroit, you go fucking you build cars.
Work
You
for
know,
the
around
car
here,
plant. Yeah.
My
you
dad
know,
Work for
was
Rhode
the
a
car
Island,
plant
man,
and be a one
we were the
income
jewelry capital of the
household.
fucking world.
my dad.
But
My
you
dad
know,
was a printer operator, right?
yeah.
Literally his job. Most of his job, Bruce, was
Well, I
basically
mean,
to stand around.
they're professionals, but I'm talking, you know, fucking, you know, untrained, unskilled labor. You could
Oh no,
still get a
he didn't.
job.
He had a high school diploma, and that was it. And he was able to
Yeah,
get this job. This is what I'm saying.
yeah,
He was
exactly,
able,
man.
and it
Oh,
was a
yeah.
12-hour shift. And he would tell you, and he worked 4 days on, 4 days off. And he would tell you, basically 3 out of the 4 days, all he did was sit there and watch the machine go. Because really, what his job was to fix it when it fucked up or something went wrong.
Well,
Get
it was
it
the
back
year of the
working as
one
soon as
income
possible.
household, man.
But that's what I'm
One
saying. And
income.
he was able to buy property, you know, support a 2-kid family at least until the
Oh,
divorce,
yeah.
and then had to
They'd
pay
make
child.
like
You know what I
50,
mean? He was able to do all that. Yeah.
Yeah, 50, 60K a year. I mean, that my parents, that changed for them too. So
Kane, the bad guy. Salute my brother. Salute, bro. Good to see you in here. We're just shooting some shit about some Ali memories. I'm smoking some AK-47 with the Toka 2, man. And fucking, man, you know, just a bunch of fucking old ham and eggers up here, bro. Salute to you, Kane, man. Thanks for coming in, brother. I appreciate the support you've been showing me, man. Thanks, man.
Angelo Dundee once said that when he started training Ali, he was telling him to have him keep his guard up, not pull back, and he was getting nailed nonstop. And he said, "All right, put your hands down. Stop. You know, forget everything I just said," because it was working for him.
Salute my brother Nitty G out there. You're right. And Ali was trained originally. He was trained by Harry Wiley.
Archie Moore before.
Yeah, and I mean Angelo Dundee kind of came in, you know, towards the highlight of Ali's career. But you know, but in the ditches, he had a lot of different trainers, like, you know, Doc was saying, he had Archie Moore and Wiley and fucking Miller. I mean, he had so many different. He learned everything. Ali was
Wiley.
a
Yeah, Wiley. I thought came later. I could be.
I think he stuck around is what it was.
Because Dundee was handling Jimmy.
Hyphy, salute, brother.
Jimmy Ellis. Yeah. And when he fought Jimmy Ellis, Dundee was in Ellis's corner, and Ali had.
Because he needed him more.
Ali had Wiley.
Yeah. He stuck around. I believe. And then other guys came out of that camp and went on to do their own things too.
Talk about one of the greatest of all time. That's Archie Moore, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think he gets the most knockouts in boxing, doesn't he?
And his knockout
percentage
percentage over 200 some fights was basically 90%.
Insane. And him and Ali, man, it was funny. Ali admired the hell out of Archie Moore. And then when Ali went to work,
sweep the floor.
Who the hell was he working for? who was he working as a sparring partner for? But Archie Moore told Ali he had to sweep the floor,
wash the dishes.
And Ali said, "Fuck that, man! I didn't come here to be no butler."
He said, "I don't wash the dishes for my mother."
Yeah. and he won a fight too. And before he got congratulations, he pointed out to him, "I want the old man next." Archie Moore was in the audience. I want the old man next. Man.
Yeah.
You know, these guys today you have to ask Al or talk to the camp, or we're going to take a vacation. We don't want to talk about fighting for a while. I mean, these motherfuckers, they had their opponent on their lips before they got to the locker room, you know?
And don't forget about the Bob father.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta ask. Hey, man, it's a different era. That's why it's cool, because I got my time tunnel over here, bro. The fucking Toka 2, same one I had in 1974. I got the fucking. You guys are probably the same fucking characters I was hanging with in '74. I just don't know your real names. You're probably gonna someday pull a fucking
This is your life, Bruce goes, right?
yeah, bro. You know,
We're gonna pull the tapes out. Yeah.
I'm waiting to see Austin Kutcher's face come on the fucking screen one of these days.
You're punked. You're punked, man.
I went fucking pranked.
Right.
But bro, I hope something
Stranger
fucking
things
crazy
can happen.
does happen. But it's man, where in the fucking world did you guys ever think we would be able to be doing this in the year 2022? Yesterday, the
Oh.
fucking day of deuces,
It's
man.
crazy.
Dude, this was
Yeah.
even in the 90s, Bruce goes, at least the early 90s, this was Star Trek shit. Like stuff you'd see
Well,
on Star Trek.
How old are you, Doc?
I was born in 68. I'm 53.
So yeah, so we're thinking like the first piece of technology that came into my house was called an Atari.
Oh, yeah, I remember when that Atari came around. I remember Pong, vaguely at
Yeah.
least. Pong machines came
So
around.
I mean, it's a pretty big leap between that beep boop boop beep beep boop boop beep to this. You know.
See, they had that in a bar that I used to go into. Because now you got to remember, when my generation, you could drink at 18. So
Oh, Jesus. Yeah,
in my
Right.
state,
Yeah, they lowered the drinking age. Right.
yeah, because and their thing was, if you could get drafted and you could go die for your country, you could have a
Yeah.
drink
Yeah,
in your
yeah.
country.
They
And
were
When did we
kicking
forget-
ass.
when
but
did
you
we
know,
forget
and what
that?
they did was they progressively raised it after that. I remember some people that were, they were going to be 18, and all of a sudden, boop, you have to be 19. Next year, you had to be 20. Then you had to be 21, and they
Yeah,
froze it at
21,
21
right.
again. But it was really fucking, see me, I always had, right now people tell me I look pretty good for my age, but when I was 18, man, I had hair, and I was 16 rather. I could grow a little beard that looked kind of decent. I had fucking hair on my chest, a couple of fucking pubes growing off my chest. And I was in good shape, so people just assumed that I was older than I was. I
And
was a
you
little
can
bit
get
bigger than most
you
people. So I was getting served in
probably had a
bars.
driver's license.
Oh yeah, I was getting
You're an
served
adult.
in bar, and when bars where the age was 21 and I was 16. That's how good I was, bro. I had
Wow.
these guys fucking thinking I was a Vietnam veteran, and I told them my grandfather was my father, all this crazy shit. But bro, the bottom line was I was getting in the fucking bar and getting served. Me
I'm
and
sure
another guy who was
screening
my
wasn't.
age. It was like wow, it was huge.
You bad punch under. It's like
I'm
you can
sure
read
the
my mind.
screening wasn't very sophisticated.
Oh,
Exactly.
there
I
was
was
no
gonna say.
screening.
Exactly.
The
They barely looked at you. They barely looked
They had
at you
no
compared
idea.
to today. Yeah.
Well,
They didn't care. They weren't
yeah,
worried
yeah.
about it.
They almost didn't care because it was money, and if there was no trouble either back then. It's not like you're gonna you're gonna go out and you're gonna fucking get in even a DWI because you just didn't get that fucked up when you did. Somebody take care of them or get them a ride or whatever. And if you could walk to your car, you were usually good enough to drive. And there
Right.
wasn't a lot of traffic in the road, big cars. Not like today, man. It was,
true.
you got a family, 4 kids right now. I do a lot of walking and I observe a lot of this shit. These fucking houses have like 5 cars in the driveway. When I was a kid, you had 1 or 2 cars and you shared them, or your father had a
Yeah.
car and then your mother's and you could borrow it. But now everybody's got a fucking car. So the roads are like congested, bro. I mean, it's you
Oh,
can
yeah.
see it happening just by walking around and looking at the cars and driveways of different houses now. And finding out what they were like 40 years ago, 50
Yeah.
years now. Fucking my fucking high school reunion this year, 50 years. I can't believe it. I've never
Wow.
gone to one of them, and I'm thinking about going to this 50th
Yeah, I was
just
gonna
to
say, you're
prove
gonna
I'm
go?
fucking
You
still
gonna go
rocking,
to
you
that?
know? I'm honest to God, I never went to one. I've been invited to the 5-year, the 10-year, the 20-year, whatever they have. I don't give a fuck. But I'm thinking about this 50th, man. Maybe I'll go. If I can get a portable camera, I'll do a fucking live during the fucking thing. I'll say, see this fucking broad? I used to jerk off thinking about her. Can you imagine that, man? She looks like she needs a walker now, for Christ's sakes. But honest
I
to
was
God,
gonna
I can only
say
imagine.
after 50 years, you're gonna have some real game changers.
Oh, bro. The sad fact is a lot of my classmates are going to be dead, for real. And the teachers guaranteed they're all dead. How can they possibly be alive, man? We're almost 70.
Right.
They'd have to be freaking, they'd be on oxygen if they ever came in,
Right.
And
right.
back then, the teachers were smoking like chimneys. They were drinking
big
coffee
time.
all the time.
Doctors used to smoke. Everybody smoked.
Everybody, yeah. My parents didn't. That was one thing, man. I was never raised on. Mr. Pads, I gotta make. I don't want to neglect me. That you asked a lot of questions, Mr. Pads. If you ever want to jump on, bro, so um, didn't you think that
Flying
they would be
cars.
flying? Yeah, you did. Actually, for sure, man. In fact, they used to have the jet packs where they'd show the fucking guy at football games at half times. You thought for sure you were going to get one in 10 years, but it just was
Well,
never reality.
well,
You
Mr.
remember?
Pads, we still have Elon Musk. He did shoot a car into space.
Yeah. Things may change, but you know, I never anticipated it because the thing is, man, our cell phones right now, they're better than the fucking communicators on Star Trek because they
Phones,
can
I
only do
never,
voice.
ever expected to get where they are. Phones are incredible.
Oh man, it's scary. This fucking thing. Every month it tells me where I went, what town I went into, what street I went down. I'm surprised it doesn't tell me how much I spent. It's fucking.
If there's
It's like
any evidence of alien technology or alien-derived technology, it's a friggin' cell phone.
For sure. $40 a month we pay the government to store our lives in this fucking chip store up in
And
the
they'll
cloud.
find you now. They got everything.
Oh yeah, you can't. You're not gonna get away. Are you kidding me?
No.
They remind me when I have to do my fucking hormonal replacement therapy. They remind me. I get dates in here.
Right.
Fucking Friday night. They're gonna remind me that it's the Ali and fucking Clay. It's the Clay and Sonny Liston anniversary.
Absolutely.
I mean, shit.
They got everybody's bowel movement history.
Dude, I have this politician that lives in my neighborhood, and this guy got fucking. He was corrupt. He got arrested. He was fucking. He was a lawyer, and he was fleecing a dead guy's will, his estate. I mean, selling things like the guy's coin collection.
Wow.
Fuck, really, really obvious things. But anyway, he got busted. The fucking feds came in, and he had to do time in federal prison. But anyway, he lives about half dozen houses from me on the same street. And you go in Google, and it says fucking blah, blah, blah's house, the address. It's right there, man. And, it's
absolutely.
It's scary, and the guy doesn't need the publicity. He paid his fucking dues, and he's he got fined like a couple of $100,000. And he drives around in a junk car now. Used to drive around in an Escalade. I see him out there. I know he's got no money, but anyway, man, these fucking Google things, they got you, bro.
Absolutely. Even civilians can. I mean, they can go on Google Maps, find out what your house looks like.
Oh yeah. Oh, my house is in there. I've even sent pictures of my house. Like I sent a picture to Mark. I sent a picture to Big Duke. I don't give a fuck. It's like the more you try to hide it, the more people will go dig it up and.
Like I said, I've always said, if you got nothing, so somebody who has nothing to hide hides nothing. So have a look. I'm a pretty boring guy.
I'll tell you, man, the technology around. I would never want to be open about it, but the way technology is, if somebody's got the fucking, if they want to find out who you are, what you look like, who your parents are,
enough, they're gonna do it.
Badly enough.
Yeah, they're gonna do it, bro. I mean, and it doesn't take a genius to do it. I could do it if I wanted to,
They'll, much like Doc, they'll probably see me watching boxing. They'll see me playing guitar. They'll see me jamming with people. Going to work.
Hey, I gave it up. I said, fuck it, man. I got my camera out. This is Bruce Goes. I like boxing. I like jazz. I like wrestling. I smoke a lot of weed, and I like to get fucking healthy and stay healthy. I used to be a bodybuilder. I still got a lot of life, a lot of stories to share, and here I am, man.
Yeah, man.
And,
absolutely. And we're all hooking up in this way.
And it's like going to the bar, because I would do this in the bar. We'd go in there, and if we could have VCR tapes, we had VCR tapes, we'd put them on. But people would come in, come on, you guys, put something else on, or it would be late. Oh, we got to go home. Bro, it's 9:30 where I'm at. It's not late. Right. I'm watching a fight on black and white fight on the fucking screen over here, an Ali fight. I'm smoking. I don't drink, so I don't need to go into a bar. Smoking fine weed, talking to two guys I like to fucking talk to. Dude, this is what it's like in 2022, man. You don't have to like it, but you better learn to fucking love it, bro.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, it's birds of a feather, man. Birds of a feather.
I
look at
said
this
it's
shit.
so much that beautiful left hook by Jones. This is way cheaper than the bar ever has been. You know what I mean?
Doc, you cheap
Especially
ass.
now.
I'm not talking about that. I drink
Well,
water, man.
I am.
I'm a cheap date, brother.
I'm not much of a drinker these days either.
I quit 23 years ago. I had Hep C, and the doctor told me I couldn't drink anymore. It wasn't. I didn't have any liver damage, no cirrhosis, nothing like that.
Oh.
But anyway, man, I couldn't drink anymore. He said, forget the alcohol. And I was, oh man, I used to have a bottle of wine with dinner. Me and my wife. That was the perfect buzz, you know. Fucking hectic day. You know, either we'd go out and have dinner or we'd cook something, have a couple of steaks or whatever it may be. But the wine was the key. I'd stop at the Packy every night on the way home from work. I'd grab a nice Chardonnay from different countries. And then all of a sudden, boom, you can't do it anymore. My wife still drinks, but it was really no problem for me. I just said, fuck it. It's better than killing myself. And I was bodybuilding at the time. Even the doctor couldn't believe it. I mean, I was like, dude, I was like 200 pounds. I had a 31-inch waist. My liver was almost visible. That's how low my body fat was. If I flexed. But anyway, bro, I had to quit drinking. But then I was cured of the Hep C, and he told me I could resume drinking lightly. And I said, fuck it. Why bother, man? I've been for 3-4 years without it.
Lifestyle, right?
Yeah, and at the time, I'm going to say 5-6 people I know got busted for DWIs, and it cost them big.
Oh,
they couldn't drive for like a year.
It's not worth it. Yeah.
Oh, it's not. Oh, it cost them a couple of thousand at the minimum. That they lost their life. One guy I know who got one, he still hasn't gotten his license back. I asked him why. He doesn't want to talk about it, and the guy bought a brand new car, one of those battery operated Toyotas, 100% electric.
Well,
it's parked in his fucking driveway. It's been parked there for 2 years.
And Doc's
anyway,
right on
man,
the money, though, when he talks about how expensive it is to go out and drink. I mean, 6-7.
What about the price of gas right now, too, bro?
Oh, yeah, gas is through the roof. But you know what COVID did is people were actually buying musical instruments. I work in a music shop like crazy because they had all this disposable income from not drinking, not going out, and not driving anywhere.
Yep.
You could see China from the satellite.
You work in a music shop, Con?
Yep, I'm a manager in a music store.
What do you sell? Instruments?
Yeah, musical instruments.
Yeah,
lighting and pro audio.
See, when I had my brief career as a musician, man, because I had my pride. I had a 58 Gibson Heritage, man.
Nice.
It was sweet, man. It had the
I didn't know you played.
Yeah. Well, see, I got into jazz back in the early the mid 70s, and I stopped playing. Because I was a musician all my life. I'm not gonna say musician, but I took piano lessons when I was in 4th grade, and I played the trumpet in the band in high school, and I played guitar. I self-taught guitar, and I played not self-taught. I took guitar lessons, but I really didn't learn anything from the guy. I learned more from hanging out with the rock guys. But anyway, man, I also played drums. My sister had a set. She gave it to me. I played with a lot of guys, and I got into jazz. And the more I got into jazz, the more I saw how inadequate I was as a musician.
Yeah. It's like talking to
man, I sold my guitar. I sold it for $500 back in 1978. 1978.
Yeah.
The guy called me, in '95. He told me he was going to sell it, and he would give it back to me for $500. But I was in the fucking restaurant business. I was just selling my restaurant. I said, listen, let me call you back soon. I called him back, and it was sold. I kicked myself in the ass. Thing was originally owned by a guy named Clarence White. He played with the Byrds.
Right.
And this guitar was like, oh, bro, it was anybody would right now they would pay $4,000 or $5,000 for this guitar.
Well, we talked about Mike Stern. Mike Stern's the guy was told me.
Mike Stern, yeah, bro, man. I met Mike Stern a couple of times. Hey, MZ, man, salute out there, man. Thanks for stopping through.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
I just want to shout out my brother MZ out there. Musically Zone Talks, bro. Musically Zone Talks boxing, awesome show. Sub to him. I hope you got. I hope I got you regged up in here, MZ man. If not, I'll go into my my YouTube channel. I got the fight going on one screen, and I'm hooked up on StreamYard on the other one, so I don't really know what I am, where I'm at on YouTube. But bro, you know your family over here. So just big shout out to my brother MZ, bro. He awesome guy, man, awesome guy. Knows his boxing for sure. Knows life, man. Good guy, man. Good dude. We're watching the seventh. What round is this right now, man? Doc, you paying attention to the round over here? I'm watching Ali throw some really lightning combinations.
I believe this is round 7. Yes.
Remember the prediction for this? It was 4 and then 6. And then he Ali backpedaled when they went the distance, and he said, "Well, what's 4 plus 6?"
Oh man, no, see, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Here's Doug Jones, who has 13 knockouts to his credit in 25 fights, while Clay has 14 in an undefeated slate. Jones would appear to have the edge now, even though he went into the fight as the underdog.
Okay, man. So ringside, they're giving it to Jones.
And he has proven that he has ample durability and determination.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Madison Square Garden. That's the Mecca right there, man. Anybody who doesn't know boxing,
MSG.
That's the the Holy Grail. Back in the day, you didn't box. You were nothing unless you boxed New York.
Johnny Addy and that
Madison
giant.
Square Garden.
Remember the giant
Madison
thing, the giant hanger with microphones all across it would come down from the ceiling.
Yeah, Ali fought a bunch of times in the Garden. He even fought the rabbit in the Garden. As he used to put it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that was Patterson's only fight in the Garden too. Only heavyweight championship match.
Chambers was in the Garden too. Acorn must fall in the Garden.
Heavy leather. Salute to the brother out there, man.
That first fight, Patterson was in bad shape, man.
Oh yeah. They're like trying to stretch his back out between rounds. They're lifting him off.
You're trying to jumpstart him, yeah.
Was that the first fight or the second fight?
The first fight. The second fight, Patterson actually did better. He just got his eye closed.
Yeah. Yeah, Patterson, especially for his age, made a really good account of himself.
That was his last fight.
Was it the first fight where Ali was really mean to him?
Oh,
yeah. He punished him.
He did not let up on him at all.
Mm.
He got into him about him marrying white women, being a Christian, goes on and on and on. The rabbit. Yeah. That's why he called
heavy
him
leather. Heavy leather. It says the device is not connected, bro. Yeah, see, I can't do anything. It says device is not connected. Try it again. Oh, look at Doug Jones landing on the.
Wow.
Oh,
this is a good fight.
I'll tell you. And Doug Jones looks like he's not scoring the fight, just watching it. Looks like Doug Jones is getting the best of the exchanges.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
the jab.
He's got him hurt.
In this fight, Jones is almost like an Iran Barkley. He's just standing in the pocket, slugging away.
Fact.
Yeah.
And look at Ali on the outside, man.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect styles. Perfect styles.
Well, and Ali had those. He had that special something where he'd get hurt and he, you know what I mean. He wasn't going to take a punch for an answer.
We lost the video, bro.
I see it.
I see
my end.
I see it fine.
So they might need to They might need to refresh whoever said that.
It's good. Okay, Kane. Thanks, bro. This sucker's from 1964, Madison Square Garden. I can't
63.
even think of the month right now. We'd have to flash it on screen. 9th round in a very controversial fight Muhammad Ali was in before he fought Sonny Liston for the title. Number 1 and number 2 contenders for the heavyweight championship in a packed Madison Square Garden, bro. Cassius Clay against Doug Jones as it was billed. The greatest Muhammad Ali as we know him.
Well, yeah, and I was telling George in the chat that we had the Williams fight on earlier. He actually did. He was doing the shuffle back in the Golden Gloves. The shuffle actually dates way back to the 50s.
And my bro, Heavy Leather, try it again, bro. I dropped the link and we're accepting visitors here, bro. This is a great fight. Can you imagine if this was happening today? Take a couple of hot undefeated contenders out there, put them together.
No.
Oh.
And this is two guys that want it. They both want it.
Well, there's only one top 10 listed this time for heavyweights.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so these were the consensus 1 and 2 guys.
Yeah. Not like today where you've got like dozens of them. So.
Oh, you've got multiples. You could probably name 30 contenders in the heavyweight division.
Bruce. The official bodies are completely muffed up. You know.
Totally. And now I hear people saying that the IBO. Oh, check out the IBO. Oh, come on, man.
God.
My mouth is already full of alphabets. I can't take any more.
It gives me a headache. I can't even keep up.
Me either. I think it just makes for good conversation, and not even good conversation. It gives some of these guys something to talk about that I just can't get into the chats. Oh, my screen. Oh, here we go. It's back on again.
Yeah, it's a flaw. That's old video for you, man.
That's it, man. Those damn pirates back in the 40s, back in the fucking 60s. I'm saying the 40s over here, man. Look at this.
Look at
Ali. Looks like he's finally kind of.
Ali's born in the 40s. Look at, oh man, and they're both so effective. Fucking Doug Jones on the inside and Ali on the outside. Damn.
And the thing that Doc was talking about too. I mean, Ali had that extra gear. Like in the Shavers fight, where the hell did that come from in the 15th round?
Yeah.
15th round.
Dude, and if you watch the left hook that starts it all is a freak athletic movement. You can watch it in slow motion. He uses like a pro wrestler. He uses the rebound of the ropes, right? Like deliberately falls back into him and bounces off like a pro wrestler, and left hooks Shavers right in between shots.
Unbelievable.
And this is a end of the line Ali, and it's like
absolutely 77. Well, even Shavers said when he came up for the 15th round, he said he couldn't believe it. It was like the first round.
Yeah. That's just a God-given gift, in my opinion.
It is
kind of like punching power. You know what I mean?
It's like a Roy Jones Jr. It's like somebody who's born a Mike Weaver, somebody who's born with athletic and physical gifts. Just
or mental gifts or whichever. Yeah.
That are there for you. Like, imagine if a guy like Weaver actually was super dedicated to what he did, because we know he wasn't, right? So.
Oh, Mike Weaver, yeah.
The guy didn't train. He didn't take boxing that seriously.
He sure looked like he trained. My God.
Let me ask you guys a question, though. Now, do you think it's because, see, the fighters today, man, they're still fighting into their 40s, their late 30s. He's 35. He's just getting his strength. He's just maturing. Now, do you think they're doing that because they fight so infrequently? Because these guys, when they turn 30, it's like, they have to start looking at their career.
They got no road wear nowadays. No road wear at all, Bruce.
Think about this. You're starting to see it's almost becoming common for guys to be turning pro. Think about Joe Joyce, for example, 35.
Yeah.
Basically,
Oh,
he's returning pro in their mid-30s. Okay, so there, and probably as a result of what happened to Ali, in particular, but also a lot of fighters from these generations, right? And the ramifications kind of coming about right around the time you started getting the internet and all that. I think that plays a large role in, we'll just say people taking their foot off the gas, so to speak, and being a little
in
more,
the business of boxing and all that stuff.
and I'm not. So see, it's
even the pound
I'm frustrated with it. I'm frustrated with it as a fan. But if I'm being objective, I can understand why. If you get what I'm trying to say.
But even look at the pound for pounders. I mean, look at Loma. Loma hasn't even had 20 fights. How long has he been a pro? 10 years?
Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable. And look at Rhode Island's own Demetrius Andrade.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bitterly, if you're a fan, that's a bitterly disappointing career.
And
that's
how,
not
how
even
old is he?
right. Yeah.
How
Dude,
old
he's
is
in
he
his
now?
30s.
And he's like starting over. He's relinquishing the middleweight and going for the super middleweight. It's like
the thing is
yep. To make himself mandatory for Canelo. Now, come on, does anybody here honestly think Canelo's ever going to give him a fight?
He can't fight everybody. There's
no. I'm not.
Everybody's.
I didn't say it's either. I'm not talking about whose fault it is.
It's to your point. It's to your point.
Yeah.
I'm saying that these guys.
Oh, look at Ali! Oh my God!
Yeah. Speaking. This is what exactly Exhibit A of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And this is probably the round that tips the fight, basically.
This is the tipping point, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that left hook.
But Ali never lost that urgency when we watched that the first Spinks fight. I mean, in that 15th round, Ali was going for broke. He was throwing everything but the kitchen sink.
Yeah. Yeah, Leon had to take some killer shots.
Place is screaming. They know what they're watching, man. And people are dressed up in suits. That's fucking amazing.
It was like a prestige event. Boxing was the biggest thing in the country back then.
Yeah,
sports wise.
I mean, it's hard to imagine, Con. I mean, it's mind-boggling today to think that, oh my God, boxing used to be bigger than the NFL.
Very much so. Yeah.
I mean, think how, or never mind the NBA. Everybody, you guys probably remember back when the playoffs of the NBA used to be on tape delay, man. Just, it's just like crazy how much it's changed. It's almost like, they've almost traded places, essentially.
Absolutely.
Play going into this bout undefeated in 17 starts. Johnny Eddie now has collected the card. First of Artie Idell.
We'll see what the
And now Frank Forbes.
Ali's got to look like he doesn't know.
Inspector.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows that. He knows it was close.
I don't know, man. Angelo Dundee.
Now, Dundee, of course, he was always confident. Of course, my guy was.
This is Kane. You're so right, man. You're so right, and this is this is the reason why we old guys, we like to watch these old fights, because this, it was different. You're right. It's a whole different era, and we'll probably never see that again. And that's why, bro, a guy like me, I like. Oh.
One even favor of Clay. Referee. Referee Joe Mustafa has it. 8-1, one even. Clay. Winner by unanimous decision.
Ooh, that was a bad scorecard.
Clay.
Yeah,
that's my dude. But that was a bad scorecard by the ref.
8-1 and one even.
Yeah,
what the fuck fight was he watching?
Boo. Yeah.
What the what? Wow.
Want to see people? See, people, even in 1963, you had to deal with that turd and punch bowl scorecard,
Yeah.
as I call it. That's the
No,
one
it's
where
always been there. It's always been there.
And what I mean by that is that's the one it's not the other two scorecards. It's like, okay, they could go either way, right? But at least they got it right in the ballpark. And then there's one guy that's like, just whoa, what
Just
yeah,
wide.
What were you watching? Yeah, what were you watching?
Yeah.
What were you watching? But yeah, that's Chicky Ferrara. He went on to train Ron Lyle against Ali.
Ronnie Lyle. Yeah, Ronnie
Yeah,
Lyle.
yep.
Yeah. Well,
And he also
Chicky went crazy in that fight at the end.
Yeah.
This was
He hated
a
to
six
stop him.
rounder. You think it was a six rounder? Yeah, Chicky went crazy.
And Chicky also, if you watch closely, the first Joe Frazier Ali fight, before photobombing was the thing, he photobombs Johnny Addy, the ring announcer. When he's announcing the names, he kind of just wanders up behind him. And I have no evidence or proof of this, Con, but I suspect he knew what a big deal it was and was like, you know what? I'm just going to make sure there's going to be a picture of me. You know what I mean?
A lot of people like to do revisionist history about that Ron Lyle fight, but Lyle himself said in the 11th, he said, that shot that I took, he said, I didn't know where I was for 5 seconds. Because he took a shot right on the chin, right on the button. Yeah. And then he said, I took some shots. Like, if people thought I wasn't out on my feet, I took those shots. I was out. You know?
Well, if you watch it, he looks like a bobblehead, as Bert Sugar put it at the end.
Oh yeah.
And like today they would have so stopped it. Like, well, you know what I mean? Probably after a couple shots.
And before the ref stopped it,
I just went to my YouTube. Kane, I didn't know you didn't have a mention here, bro. I just moderated you, my brother. Thanks for coming in, man. And my apologies for not doing it earlier, man. I assumed I modded everybody up here, man. And shit, you got it now, bro. I wish they could give you a super wrench to bop anybody that's got a wrench, man. Because you are an OG in the chat rooms, my brother. You've been around way before me, bro. Anyway, man, what fight you guys want to pull up another fight, man?
Yeah,
I'm game for it. What do you want to watch? Doc or Khan? Khan, you give me a fight.
Yeah, your turn. Your turn, John.
Okay, another Ali fight. Let's think. Give me another Ali fight. How about? Let's see. Well, the last one before the exile. Pull up Zora Foley.
There we go.
That was an interesting fight because I was always curious. You know, we go back and that documentary Facing Ali, where you have all the opponents talking about what it was like to face Muhammad Ali. Well, I'd never seen any feedback from Zora Foley, and I found an article where he talked about that fight, and it's very interesting. If you can find that article.
What do you mean? Give us the cliff notes. What's what?
Yeah. Okay. Well, a lot of people thought that he was, off in that Foley was off in that fight, and he said no. He says I was there in that fight. I trained hard. I was prepared. I was in condition. He said Ali is just such an odd bird in the ring. He said, for a traditional fighter, he says, for somebody to throw a punch out of position, no fighter is expecting that. And Ali did it so many times where he would throw a punch when he was completely out of position. He said it was like pulling a rabbit out of a hat all night long. He could not figure. It was like a Rubik's Cube, to foreshadow.
Yeah, because he was able to get.
That's a good question out there, bro. Khan just asked a question. Excuse me, Kane the bad guy. When did boxing start using women to show the rounds, man? I don't know, man, but I've seen the most beautiful women in the world as ring card girls. Still do today, bro. Doc, or Khan, can you answer the question, man?
When did
look at
that?
Look at that. That was fucking Emil Griffith at ringside.
Yeah. This used to be a thing too.
I do not know the.
Look at Bundini Brown.
Joe Louis.
Oh my God.
See, that was another thing that they don't do anymore. That they did back then is they would have like
Celebrities.
Ali was boxing royalty then too.
Look
though,
at Joe. Oh my God, man. If anybody has never seen Joe Louis, and I mean, this was before, this was when Joe was retired. He looked like he still had it together, man, you know?
Oh yeah, he was a big guy too for when he was fighting. 6'2".
And we got the historic voice of Dunphy in there, man. The announcer.
Oh yeah.
Somebody. I was in a chat once, and somebody was saying, "Why the hell is Dunphy in the Boxing Hall of Fame? Who the hell is that?"
Oh, we're losing your vote. We're losing your voice there.
That guy called thousands of fights. Dunphy called thousands of fights.
Yeah,
Sean,
of course he's in the Hall of Fame.
I couldn't hear it myself. Can you say that again?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's different now.
Oh, I was saying Don Dunphy. I said, somebody was in the chat a few weeks ago was saying, why the hell is Don Dunphy in the Boxing Hall of Fame? What the hell did he ever do in the boxing game? And I said, where have you been? He's called thousands of fights. He's an entire chunk of boxing history on his own.
Well, you know that cracks me up, that question too, because you got to understand the no problem, my brother Kane. You got to understand the Boxing Hall of Fame has the non-participant wing.
That's right.
And that's why Sylvester Stallone got in there, because fuck Sylvester Stallone. He got in there because he's a fucking white boy. Blah, blah. Bro, you know how much popularity Sylvester Stallone brought to boxing in 1976 with Rocky? Every fucking guy wanted to be a boxer. Kids were chasing the guys who were the boxers jogging around. Bro, it was, it made it. I can tell you professional boxers today who, because they saw Rocky, that's why they became boxers, man.
He's a cultural
and that doesn't deserve to be put in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. No, he inspired people. It was a shot in the arm for the boxing game. He did have an impact culturally, sure.
And that was in 1976. We only had one world champion from the United States when Rocky was shown. And that was Muhammad Ali. Every other champ was
Muhammad Ali, and that's what the movie was based on. It was that fight with Chuck.
Oh, so many different fighters. Yeah, yep. All these guys were saying I was the real Rocky, bro. I don't even want to start dropping names, but I talked to so many boxers who, I was the real Rocky. I was the inspiration for that. Look at Ali, man, in color. Look at the fucking abs on him, bro.
He was in amazing shape, man. Great condition at that point. Just the ultimate. But yeah, I think it was a combination because it was set in Philadelphia. I buy the Joe Frazier crossed with the Wepner idea as the concept for the Rocky movie.
And I mean, come on, who's Apollo Creed?
Apollo Creed. Well, the thing is Apollo Creed, apparently that wasn't supposed to be Ali, but Carl Weathers is the guy that basically brought that to the picture. He just went in and he just started berating and insulting people at the audition, and they went, you know what, this is the guy it's got to be.
Really, I didn't know that either, bro. That's cool.
I watched a few. So they allowed it to happen, is what you're saying.
Oh, big time.
Oh,
he was so great.
Oh, they let him run with it. I'm sure. Now that you're mentioning that, man, that was probably all ad-libbed. All that shit, not the heavy lines, like reading the paper and shit like that, but all that ad-libbing, man. You get him on the phone, you tell him that,
You tell him, they tell that chump. Yeah, exactly. It's showtime.
Foley is a Tyson fighter, a good counter puncher, and he's getting a light right hand there.
So I think the reason why Foley was so puzzled by Ali, and he said he threw punches out of position, is because Foley was a counter puncher. He's waiting to counter, but he has nothing to counter against.
All right. Smoking Joe. No, I also heard Sylvester Stallone. He had Ernie Shavers. He was going to use Ernie Shavers. And Ernie Shavers hit so hard. He gave him his walking papers.
And that Bruce. And then another thing is that he thought that the audience would never believe that Rocky could beat Ernie Shavers.
Yeah, that too.
and the height disadvantage too. I've seen Sylvester Stallone on stage with Ali, and he must have had high heels or something on because he almost looked as. I mean, he was jacked on roids for sure. His jacket was 4 fucking sizes too big, and he's filling it out.
Cool.
So fucking, but he's not a big guy. You see him now. He's only like 5'9", 170 pounds at that.
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean Stallone? Okay.
Stallone, yeah. Maybe
no,
even shorter than that. Maybe I'm being generous.
He wasn't a very big guy, no.
But Zora Foley, how far did he get? How far did he get in the rankings? Did he ever?
He got all the way up to. I think was on a winning streak before this fight came up.
Did he fight?
I mean, he goes back. He goes back to the list.
Did he fight Sonny Liston?
He fought Liston. Yeah.
He get knocked out.
I think he got KO'd, but I'd have to look it up.
Pretty sure he got KO'd. Pretty sure he was another miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks a little too stand up for Sonny Liston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sonny Liston, well, he fought Cleveland Williams twice, and he took him out of there. So.
There we go. Cleveland's trying to get in there. Excuse me. Zora Foley's trying to get inside over there.
He was a slick boxer. He was a slick guy back then.
He was a technician is the problem.
Yeah.
Like you were saying earlier.
But he was also very orthodox. So he's waiting for something to counter off of. And when he sees Ali get into these odd positions, throwing a jab where you're not in position, throwing a right hand where you're not in position.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll see it coming up.
He's basically hitting him from angles where Zora Foley has to reset in order to throw a punch.
Absolutely. He's got to reset all the time. That was Ali. I think a lot of people don't talk about that, is that he would make fighters reach. And when they reach, they're off balance. Then he'd capitalize. I mean, there's so many things that he did to outfox opponents. Probably the only body shot that you'll see Ali throw this whole decade.
Yeah. Oh God, there's another.
Fact, man. Yep. You just never see it. And I'm probably the only guy around here who's seen. We start talking to the real OGs, man. But I've seen Ali and I've seen Joe Frazier. I saw Joe Frazier twice.
Wow.
Never saw him fight though.
Did you see him sing? Is that what you saw him do?
Yes, I saw. Yeah, I saw Joe Frazier in the knockouts. They came to the Bristol.
Oh my God!
They came to the Matador Hotel in Bristol, Rhode Island, in 1974, I believe it was, and men were bad.
I heard they were terrible.
Oh my God! And I'm saying, Joe, are you fighting Ali again? He didn't. He couldn't talk to him. He couldn't talk. I think he was on fucking coke, man. I really do. I think he was fucking snorting fucking heavy coke back then. And there was, coke was new. Nobody started coking, in '74.
They thought coke had vitamin C in it back then.
But and I also saw Joe.
Just kidding.
I saw Vinny Pazienza knock out his kid, Joe Frazier Jr. And I saw Joe there, man, and I felt for Joe. Joe, you could see Joe, telling his kid, don't worry, smile on his face. The kid isn't fucking queer. I mean, Vinny Paz opened up on him at the end. You
right.
That and fucking Joe Frazier Jr. is fucked up. And you can see Joe smiling at him saying, come on, kid, it's okay. And fucking Junior is, get me out of here, get me back to Philly.
Well, Frazier
that's the 2 times I saw Joe, and I never saw him box.
Wow. So the singing wasn't very good, you were saying?
Oh, Christ, man. If I saw it today, I'd probably think it was awesome. But no, back then it was, dude, the room I saw him in, I saw Bruce Springsteen in the same room. I saw the fucking Birds with Roger McGuinn in the same room.
Right. Pale by comparison.
Yeah, they used to have fucking, the concert. Roger Williams University used to produce concerts before they only had 3 buildings back then. And it was a lot of guys, a lot of kids from New Jersey. They got Bruce Springsteen to come up here when nobody knew who the fuck he was. I think it was $4 to get in the fucking concert to see him.
Wow.
Mm.
Those were the
And the
days.
same with the Birds, man. The Birds in 71 or 72.
Oh,
and
yeah.
and they were wicked cheap too. And they just opened the doors and you could just go in there, sit on the floor. Fucking awesome
Used
show.
to be, concerts used to be cheap. I mean, I saw Boston for $20. I saw Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young for $20. You don't see those days again.
Oh, I saw the Grateful Dead for $4.50, I think it was. I went to Watkins Glen, a fucking weekend ticket there. It was only it was like $12 or something, for the fucking Dead, the Allman Brothers and the band. And you can Wikipedia that show. It's still, the largest live fucking outdoor rock and roll concert in history. And I was one of them, bro. I had the first case of fucking Miller Lite, I think in the country, because my mother used to go out with a guy who owned a company called Wayne Distributing, and they were the exclusive distributors of Miller beer. And so my mother used to get a lot of gifts from the guy. And one of them was a case of Miller Lite, and he told me this stuff is going to be big. He knew I was going to New York. Take it with you, man. Tell people. And people are like, oh, wow, cool. But I'm telling you, within a year later, every fucking bar, everybody knew what Miller Lite was. And I got drunk on it before it was even known. Watkins Glen, man. Ball and boogie.
Well, Joe Frazier saw his sons go through a lot worse with those 2 KOs that he saw. He was in the ring with in the corner for Marvis. Frig, man. The Larry Holmes knockout, that was bad.
That was savage, bro. And I lost more respect for Larry Holmes. I didn't respect him anyway because he just, I do now. But when he was a fighter, he just fucking said the wrong things. And you know what he said to that? You know what he said to Marvis after that fight? He said, "That's what your dad used to do to me in the gyms."
And he went further than that. He's told him, he said, you know what? He says, I do him like I do his son.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Larry was polarizing for sure.
Larry was ruthless. Absolutely ruthless.
And we were talking about Trevor Burbick yesterday. He hated him. That was actual hate.
Oh yeah. Even now, I saw an interview. It was probably within a year and a half or so, and he still hates Trevor Burbick. The guy's fucking dead, and he still has nothing but bad words to say about him.
Yeah, dude's dead, and he still hates him.
Oh, and he died so violently. It's like, damn, shed a tear at least. Or
and Larry said something. Yeah, he's still going after him. Yeah.
Yep. Larry holds a grudge.
That's a grudge.
Somebody was telling me, they were telling me that they were gonna do a show like just like we're doing now. They were gonna get Larry's brother on there. What the fuck is his name?
Don't know.
All I can think of is Lindell. I know it's not Lindell. That was another boxer.
There was Holmes, but no, that you're thinking. Oh God, I want to see. Was it Bruce?
No. We'll think of it as we go on. But Larry said no, and unless you get money, you don't do it.
That sounds like Larry.
I mean, what the fuck? Like it's like getting together here and chopping up some of your old fights. It's Jesus Christ, man. Nope. Larry's strictly business all the way.
Big time.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he hasn't hit me with a fucking copyright tag when we showed his fights.
Well, that's how he got sucked back into the ring to fight Mike Tyson. Was Don King showed up with a big suitcase full of money.
Yeah, and said like you have like 4 weeks. He's like, well, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, and he's like, I give you $3.5 million.
You better pay me a lot of money. And Don King's like, well, here's a lot of money. Well, okay, Larry, like you said, is all business. Okay.
All business.
Yep, you're right, Kane, man.
Though?
Kane, we're talking about fucking what it cost back then to what it costs today, man. I was just looking for I don't know how I got there, but for somehow I was looking at restaurants in my hometown, the best ones, and I'm looking there, man. These fucking joints, a hamburger is like fucking $12.50. The house burger $15.50. French fries $4.95 or something.
Yeah.
It was just look at that. Zora
Oh,
Foley's
there he
face.
goes. He's down.
Yeah.
He looks like he's getting up, like
He looks at
Lazarus from the
his
dead.
corner.
Look at
See,
this.
and that's
his
another
corner.
like Con. That's one of those, like you were saying, one of those Rubik's cube angle.
That was the
punches. It was
Rubik's
specialty.
Cube punch.
And he's still look. He gets up and he's trying to fire that right hand. I think Ali came in looking for the kill and he's not getting it, and he's getting surprised over here. Tremendous,
Yeah.
Zora
Yeah,
Foley.
yeah.
What, man? When you go down like that, you don't get up.
Well,
Zora was
Foley also said that he was all groggy when he was standing there. He looked back at his corner. He said he was completely buzzed.
Fact,
different
bro.
era. Different era.
You know, when you go face first like that, and usually it's elbows down and fucking ass up. You know how it is, man. But he like Kane said, he was kissing the fucking mat, and amazing. He got up and he had the senses to look in his corner.
Yeah.
That's,
and look at that defense.
And he's on the offense now. Right now he's actually winning the round.
You notice how he actually uses his shoulder. Sorry, Con. If you watch closely, he's actually.
That's what I was.
He isn't just weaving away. He's using his shoulder to deflect.
He's using that shoulder. He's using those very what I call the micro movements, micro defense. He did the same thing with Terrell, which was the fight before this one, where Terrell.
Look at Ali.
Yeah. See, how's he getting leverage? How's he getting That's the freakish thing is. How is he getting leverage with you know?
How can you land a punch going backwards like that
and make it hurt? Exactly. Like I've challenged people before to just go shadow box, right? And throw a punch like you feel like would actually maybe hurt somebody, and then try to do that shadow box and try to do the same
Marciano.
I saw Ali one time. He was talking to a commentator. He said to the guy, "Put your hand out flat, and you tell me to hit you." And before the guy would say hit, before the guy would say T, hit, he'd hit him. And before the guy even got the word out, and he tried to stop. He tried to not say it in succession, and Ali wouldn't throw the punch. And then it was like just the reflexes of a fucking cat on steroids.
Absolutely. Or I like the gag he used to do where he'd say, "I'm going to hit your hand 10 times in a second." Before you can count to 10 or something like that, and then the guy would count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You want to see it again?
Well, this was real, man. This wasn't. I've seen him do that before. Show you the fastest punch, and you want to see it again.
Him actually do it.
This was actually doing it.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm just going to show you." He says, you tell me to hit your hand. I'm going to hit your hand before you say it, and every fucking time the guy would go, and he wouldn't throw the punch. The guy would throw a feint at him. Ali wouldn't fall for it. Fucking fun, just amazing shit. Just how could you not be the greatest heavyweight of all time just doing shit like that? Just
an athletic marvel, man. It's just an
fucking unbelievable.
Yeah,
and like people saying they were smaller then, same size as Usyk in weight, man, and in height.
Yeah. 217 pounds, 6'3.5".
And Usyk isn't nearly as fluid or as naturally gifted. I've told people for years, Bruce.
Well,
Ali would chop dudes up in today's heavyweight division.
Absolutely,
he would just chop them up until they quit.
And not only that, with his promotional mind,
his
God, personality, he would be the biggest thing in boxing again.
Yeah,
easily.
Ali is, and to see his defense today, man. To see his defense amongst the heavyweights today, shit. He would fucking befuddle these guys. They would be so out of gas and so frustrated. He would expel.
He's too fluid and too just sharp and aware of every like Colin Shonry said, every little micro movement that's going on there.
Well, yeah, the Terrell fight that came right before this, the Houston Astrodome fight. He does Terrell throws a 4-punch combination, and Ali's standing right in front of him, and he's just doing that pulling back with the shoulders movement, those micro movements, and evading every punch. It's just how he had a radar built inside him.
It's almost as if, like, this might sound cliche, but it's almost like he was moving at a different speed, or they were moving in slow motion compared to him.
Well, he often said that he thought all the heavyweights that he fought, at least, or that he sparred with or had some experience with, were all slow. He thought he saw them as slow.
Yeah.
Rocky Balboa, legitimately the side. Oh, but the thing about Rock was he was definitely on the juice, and yeah,
Oh
maybe the
yeah,
size of like a Rocky Marciano while when he was all juiced up with. But man, somebody like Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, they'd
oh
fucking
yeah.
throw him around the
It'd
ring
be
like
murder. It'd
oh
be
fuck,
murder.
man.
Rocky would be a ragdoll. Rocky would have been a
Even Mike
175.
Tyson, a little guy like Mike Tyson would steamroll the fucking Rock,
Yeah,
sadly. But yeah, no, Rock was probably a decent sized light heavyweight.
a light heavy. I'd call him a natural 175er. A Tyson was a natural heavy. Like he was
Oh
smaller,
yeah,
but he
yeah,
was a
Fury,
heavyweight.
Wilder. But
He's a
all
heavyweight.
it seems like all the heavyweights are either giants or just fucking athletic, physical freaks. I don't know, man.
Physical
To me, the
freaks.
heavyweight division, there can be no super heavyweight division. I know people claim that they complained about Fury being 270, but bro,
Nah,
I mean that's the way it
deal with
goes,
it.
man.
They got
Exactly.
super heavy in the Olympics. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yes. I couldn't ride with that at all, bro. That's just the way it is. There's no that you're not going to get anything because you came in lighter than the other cat. Look at little fucking Rocky Marciano. Everybody he fought was 45, 50 pounds heavier than him. So
He had like a 65 or 66 arm reach, and he fought at 180. He's a little tiny heavyweight. A lot of people speculate that if Rocky had actually succeeded to the generation that came later, he would have been iced, like against guys like Ingemar Johansson, just these bigger heavyweights, or Cleveland Williams, for example.
oh yeah, a lot of people had a lot of prospective matchups for fucking Marciano, and he just didn't. He knew his back was fucked up. He had money all
Oh
over the
yeah.
place. He didn't want to get killed. Fucking him. We know what Sonny Liston was fucking nipping at his heels, man.
Well, look at the Marciano's toughest fights were against guys whose combined age was about 40, and those were tough. Those were not cakewalks. They were tough fights. Jersey Joe Walcott, Ezra Charles.
Oh, Marciano
Those
was a
were
great fighter, but how
Yeah.
many defenses did he have?
very few, 4 or
Very
5.
exactly.
Not many. Not many.
No, and he
And
fought
Archie
the
Moore,
best of his era.
the old
Like
mongoose drop.
yeah, he fought more, but he fought like Mike Tyson. He fought the best of his era, and he was successful. But put him in another era, I'm not even going to say like Tyson because when he fought Lennox,
Even
that was
Roland Starza. There's people that thought Roland Starza beat him.
yes,
Well,
they did, man.
my only criticism about Marciano in his era is that Bert Sugar said this about Marciano, is that most of the guys that padded his record weren't even household names in their own households.
I love that saying. I like that, man.
That's bird sugar. So,
No,
yeah,
it's amazing that Zara Foley is still around here, bro.
Oh, big time.
Well, as noticed earlier, when he got knocked down, he was tough as hell. He wasn't top 10 for no reason. Going back to what we said earlier about there being one top 10 list back at this time. Whereas now, like, Conchad said, we got 4 for the alphabet groups and a bunch of others. Sorry, go ahead.
Ali was just a guy who I think he loved boxing. He loved to actually get in there and perform, do the sport. He wasn't trying to get you out of there and around. It's like Salvador Sanchez later on. I mean, he's just cool as a cucumber. He goes in there, he does the job, he comes out with the win.
Yep. Before Al Davis was saying "just win, baby," that was Angelo Dundee's line.
Yeah.
I don't care if my guy wins. Like a horse race, I don't care if my guy wins by an inch or by a mile. Right?
Oh, look, Ali's doing that right over the jab thing. That got listed on the floor. That right hand right over the jab, yeah, right over the shoulder.
Yeah, that becomes throughout his career. That was always a
super fast.
And we must also remember this was career number 1.
Yeah. And one thing I figured out later, I didn't actually realize this, that Ali was undisputed 3 times in his career, not twice, because of the stripping from the WBA belt being taken away when he took the Liston rematch. So then he didn't
Yep.
get it
Yep.
back until he fought Ernie Terrell.
Ah, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
he had to go back and fight Terrell, and nobody even really considered that a unification
Oh.
fight. It was,
Yeah,
it wasn't really even,
Yeah.
yeah.
I knew it, but you're right. It wasn't considered. They don't consider him the 3-time undisputed.
But
But back
technically it
then,
was.
man, undisputed was, you had state athletic commissions that were much more powerful than the. Oh, look at that! Right? Oh my
This
God!
I
is
don't think
Look
he's
at that
getting up this time,
combination.
Jim.
two
No,
two
I
right
don't.
hands. Two
Oh,
right
shit.
hands.
Oh, you never know, though. Look at him.
Nah, he can't make it. Can't
He's
make
doing
Almost.
cartwheels. He's doing cartwheels. It's
it.
over. He took 2 right hands in a row, like bang bang.
And like one of them at least was right behind the ear.
Yeah. I love when they hug at the end of a fight, man. It's just it just makes it so real.
It was for lack of a better term, it was classier back then.
It's still classy today, man. The fighters have to make it classy. The whole boxing has to make itself classy. It's got to
As
make
long as you're
itself.
not biting somebody's ear off, it's all good.
This is a fixed fight.
No way.
But look at this. Look at John McSmith. Come on, my brother. You're on the short bus gang tonight, man. You fooled me for a second, bro.
Go find the article with Zora Foley. He tells it.
What does he say?
He said he said you couldn't tell it by watching the film. He said, but Ali was very, very, he's a very puzzling fighter to fight. He said he couldn't get set. He was off balance. He couldn't, Ali was throwing punches out of position he wasn't expecting. He said it was a complete, it was a mess. It was, it went topsy-turvy. And he said he was buzzed through most of those later rounds because Ali was hitting him so regular. He said he was, it was a foregone conclusion. He said he couldn't have beat him.
Temple shot because he was hitting him with temple.
Now, did he say drugged?
No, he didn't say drugged. That would be foreshadowing Foreman. But you know what though, when Ali fought Liston the first time, and the juicing the gloves incident came out with the liniment and Ali's eyes, well, other fighters had complained about liniment in their eyes with Sonny Liston before that. Eddie Machin and Cleveland Williams both complained about burning in their eyes.
Yep.
You wonder why a killer like that would need to juice his gloves.
Well, he was a mob-sponsored fighter. What did he do when he wasn't defending his fight? He was breaking up unions and, busting legs, getting money for the freaking mafia.
Yeah, he was a leg breaker. Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, sad career, and oh man, tragic.
I often think that if that would have been Cus D'Amato's ultimate protege to have a Sonny Liston, it would be like, finally, I found my, I found my king.
A guy who can jab. He finally found.
Well, yeah, a guy who had a jab like a right hand. Actually, I think Liston was a converted southpaw from what I've read.
That would make sense. I've never heard that, but that would I could see how that would make sense because
there's a bunch of converted southpaws I didn't know about. Greg Page was a converted southpaw. Obviously, everybody knows that De La Hoya and guys like that were, but or Jerry Cooney, another converted southpaw.
No, I don't understand what John McSmith is talking about over here, bro. What are we shooting our mouths off about? What, man? Please explain. If you don't want to be the keyboard explainer, hop on the panel, bro, because I don't understand what your bitch is, man. We showed a fight and we're discussing it. If you know more than these two guys do, please come up here and tell us, man, because I don't have this backstage information, man. I mean, damn, look at go research it. Don't tell me you're buying it. The fight is fixed. What
Oh
dude?
no, this is a fight. It's a conspiracy theory. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
bro. Come on,
That seems to be.
explain it, bro. You're more than welcome. In the meantime, Doc, want to pull up another fight or what, bro?
Go
Or
for it.
Sean Connery?
Hey,
We're
Doc, your pick, man.
we're in the Ali tradition over here, man. Name me a Muhammad Ali fight.
Here's some good ones.
John McSmith isn't bitching. Okay, bro. I'm telling you, Ali versus Foley was a fixed fight. Well, man,
It was not.
I've heard so many of Mike Tyson's fights were fixed. It's like
Oh,
they,
yeah.
they bring in an opponent and they'd say, look, I want 7 rounds out of this guy. I want 4 rounds out of this guy, and that was it. You see so many of Tyson's early fights. You watch them in slow motion. The guys take
I got
dives.
it, Bruce. I got
But
it.
Zora Foley,
What is it? What do you got?
I got it.
Bonavina?
The stepchild of a trilogy, Ali Frazier 2.
Ooh,
Ali
Yep.
Frazier too. All right, bro.
that's the Rob knockout by Tony Perez fight. Is what I call it.
See, there's a lot of what do you call it?
A lot of talk
Talking
about
point.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was this was the fight right after that big ABC Rumble at the when they were live doing that interview with Cosell.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. When Ali grabbed
that
him
was
and
funny.
said, "Sit down, go sit down."
That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ali called him ignorant, and
Frazier
is ready to go.
Yeah, Frazier was ready to rumble, man.
Oh, big time.
See, Ali, in my opinion, was a troll that could not help himself.
He was a great troll. That's
And
where people miss it nowadays, though. I think they just try to bring the funk without the swagger. They just don't have the swagger now with that. They don't have.
Or they assume that there weren't trolls before we had the term troll.
Yeah.
Which is like, no, we just didn't have the specific verbiage. You know what I mean? Codified, so to speak. But we all knew people that were trolls in our lives growing up. It's just you know what I mean.
I think
anyways.
Ali, the closest thing to trolling was the Frazier situation. You could
Yeah, and he went to he knew he went too far, but he couldn't help.
Frazier's kids were catching hell at school for
That's the thing, yeah. That's the thing that makes it really messed up.
The whole thing about about the Uncle Tom and all that.
But the fucked up part is supposedly he didn't actually hate Joe. He just couldn't, like I said, he could not help himself because he knew Joe would get pissed because Joe was a very serious individual.
Well, the thing is
This one was better.
that was a style that worked against that was a situation that worked against Ali because Ali liked to piss off and get his opponents emotional. That's why he talked to them in the ring as well, is because he wanted them to fight harder. He wanted them to basically expend themselves, and it didn't work with Frazier because that first fight, Frazier, he fought the fight of his life. In my opinion, that's his best fight.
Yes.
There's no beating Frazier.
But that's his best. That's his best peak of his boxing abilities, boxing powers.
You never see him in that shape again.
Right. But you can argue his best effort is still the Thrilla in Manila.
Hey guys, I gotta get another glass of water, man. Let the dog out.
No problem. We got it.
I'll leave this bad boy rolling. Now, Tommy.
No problem, Bruce. Yeah, so that with Frazier is that a lot of people said, you know what, they always like to talk about the Ali, Frazier styles make fights. The whole explanation about how Ali had a couple of difficult opponents and difficult styles to confront, but I didn't buy that. I thought that it was actually a good style for Ali in terms of something he can handle. It's just that I think that the stars lined up for Frazier on the first fight.
Well, this goes back to real quick. This goes back to before I lose the thought because I was going to say this.
Sure.
You kind of read my mind almost. Frazier had this goes back to a comment someone made way earlier, right, about Joe Frazier saying Ali's jab was a feather duster, and I commented, dude, Joe Frazier was crazy. And this is what I mean by that. Joe Frazier hated Ali. Right, to your point.
Absolutely.
All
wouldn't
right,
want to give him any credit.
He was ready. He at least was ready to die. By the time they got to Manila, you get me.
Absolutely.
And he was killing himself in training, and he would, if you watch the fights, he would eat jabs and let his face get turned into an alien face. I'm not trying to be funny.
That's why it made such great fights, because you had two guys who refused to lose.
Exactly. Yes. Dude, they could have played this every weekend, and people would have ate it up.
This is my counter to people say that that Frazier style and Frazier gave Ali trouble. I think it was worse the other way around, because after the first fight, Frazier was never the same. I think, yes, Frazier did give Ali legitimate trouble, but I think that Ali gave Frazier worse trouble.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. If Joe didn't have a special heart and desire to fucking kill Ali if he could, or at least hurt him, if it worked for yeah, he hasn't been hitting him with ridiculous combinations as well.
Well, you know what the thing is?
Yeah. Ridiculous combinations.
Yeah, Ali needs space to punch. He needs room to punch.
Yep.
That's why he grabbed and pushed him out. You know what, Foreman? To be fair,
Foreman
did the same thing.
He
manhandle you and push you out.
The push, the 2-hand push was his big trick.
He'd push.
I've heard a lot of people talk about the Philly shell, and some guy asked they asked James Toney. I was on a panel and they asked him about the Philly shell, and James Toney says, he goes, "What are you talking about? I got no Philly shell." He goes, I use the high guard, the shoulder roll. I pull my head back. He says, Joe Frazier, that's the Philly.
Yep.
He said, Joe Frazier, that's the Philly
called
shell.
The Michigan defense.
Yeah, the shoulder
MZ, salute, bro.
He was known for.
Yeah, it is slightly different. It's like a variant on the same style.
Bill Miller, I think. Bill Miller trained Tony. Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah, Ali holding on to the back of the head. That's just what he gets away with it. He does it.
But part of it because they noticed they broke.
Look at the combination. Oh shit.
Perez would let you friggin' mug a guy in there. He allowed all the rabbit punches in the Wetner fight. He's literally got a license to kill with Perez in there.
It's like he gives him a chance
for ending the round early. Except for ending the round.
Somebody give John McSmith a Valium, man. I think he's gonna have a heart attack out there, bro. This fight happened 50 years ago, bro. Calm down, man. Calm down.
Have a drink on me, man, John McSmith.
Exactly.
Oh, that right hand.
John Smith. Yeah. My Toka too, bro. Can you reach out and take this, man? It's loaded up and ready for bear, man. This will
take a slug, yeah.
This will calm you. No, sometimes I've seen people get rowdy when they take a slug.
No way.
Look at OJ and say that could have been me, man. Say if I had this beautiful fucking blonde that did me wrong, man, I could have fucking went OJ on her, bro. My whole career of doing this gone. But
the yellow blazer, man. Those yellow blazers back.
He looked at the ring. He'd be like, "That's not a concussion." I'd had enough concussions.
OJ, are you shitting me? He would jump right over the line. He'd do a fucking 360 in midair, come down on his head. He's got CTE. What
he
the
was
fuck
a crash test dummy, for God's sake.
He was a gentleman. He was a fucking good-hearted dude. But bro,
everybody loved the guy. He was
look at Earl Campbell. Look at what happened to him.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
John McSmith.
Remember that baseball player? This is not that long ago. What's his name?
Hang on.
Not baseball.
OJ didn't do it. John McSmith.
I was gonna say props to John McSmith. At least he's honest about where it's coming from. It's like, okay,
John McSmith is in the family, bro. You say whatever you want as long as you're not fucking insulting anybody here, getting me riled up, fucking racial bullshit. Bro, fuck opinions, bro.
Exactly. Opinions are fine.
Yeah,
but that football player, the guy who had CTE went nuts and shot up what was his name? Hernandez.
Oh, Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah,
Aaron
Oh yeah,
Hernandez.
bro,
Yeah,
bro,
that's
that
the one.
happened in my
The one used to play
backyard.
with the one used to play with the Patriots.
Yeah, Aaron Hernandez,
Right.
man. Bro, that
That
happened.
guy
I
went
live in.
crazy.
I look at the city of Fall River every day. That's where they had the trial.
Man.
Odell Odom, man. The guy's name was Odom. And he fucking, it was his sister's fucking boyfriend, his wife's sister's boyfriend, and he calls the guy up at like fucking midnight, to go to go into the city and fucking party, and this guy's got to get up at, he's going to be to work at 7 the next morning as a landscaper, and he went with him, and some bullshit happened in the clubs in Boston. He was spreading rumors that Hernandez was gay. And I mean, there was a lot of fucking crazy shit going on. Aaron Hernandez was a fucking nut. Believe me. I mean, he fucking he blew some guy's fucking eyeball out in Florida over a drug disagreement. He was, like we're talking about CTE. Yeah, Hernandez, man. He was bad,
He
bro.
went full
And
maniac.
he would go to proper. Oh yeah, fucking crazy shit. Go ahead, Grinder. I'm sorry, man. I go on and on.
I was going to say, what if also there was, I can't remember his name, but the guy that was supposed to play center for the Raiders in the Super Bowl against the Bucks. The Bucks ultimately won. He got all shot up and whatnot. Went crazy. He went into some store, I would think it was, and just went nuts.
Ali was having some hand problems in this fight. I know he was having some hand trouble before the fight.
Yeah, he had to get some kind of injections. So
Ferdy Pacheco used to inject between his knuckles. I think it was Novocaine.
Yeah, something like that. It was something like that.
But he did something to his hands to help him out with the Foreman fight because he needed to be able to punch.
Oh yeah.
And
That
you notice they both have those same maroon Everlast gloves. No fucking one with a big fat blue glove, the other guy with a gold glove.
You guys, anything? Those are 8-ounce gloves. Yeah, horsehair. They're about kidding. Those are 8-ounce horsehair gloves.
Yeah,
on heavy.
the traditional gloves, and everybody wore them, right? Just like
Mhm.
you were saying, you didn't have a different flavor for everybody.
Bro, I heard the other night when they had to reglove fucking
Kel
was
Brook?
it when they had to
Brook.
reglove Kel Brook, they told him it's a sponsorship issue, reglove or the fight is off.
That's
Yeah,
what that was about?
that's what I heard from a pretty good source. Now, I'm not
I
going to
thought it was
die
because
for
they
it, but
thought
bro,
they-
that's what I heard that, and it makes sense to me because the person who told me knows behind the shit scene boxing, and he said, he's seen it happen, and they're in front of 20,000 fucking people, bro.
Wow. And he was already gloved up at that point.
He was already gloved, and he had the wrong fucking gloves on, the wrong fucking advertising, whatever, but it was
shitty.
Reglove or the fight is off. Yeah, quick, hurry up, boom,
Man,
wacky.
That's ridiculous.
And it makes sense when I think about it, in this crazy fucking corporate world.
Yeah.
We gotta wait how long for that damn fight to happen, and then we get that on top of the whole, on top of the fact that get it when they're way past being at their feet.
And it's funny, you watch this fight, you see that Ali is open for a right hand. He's just got that right hand up to block the left hook. Every time Frazier comes in, he puts the right hand up to his ear.
Yeah. Answering the phone, they said.
Yeah, answering the phone.
Oh, hooking with the hooker. What do you do? It's crazy.
He is, man. These two guys, it's, it all depends on who scores their fight. And Ali, just the sheer volume, Joe Frazier, just the, the explosiveness and where he landing those punches. You and anybody, and you can't argue with them. They could call so many of these rounds even.
Absolutely, Bruce. But even though you could call those last two fights, obviously for Ali, I think Ali's biggest boogeyman was Norton. It wasn't Frazier.
Oh yeah. That's it. Now that's a friggin' really hard fight to score. The third Norton Ali fight.
The Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. I mean that's razor close.
Norton, I think, had his head down and cried at the end in his towel.
Well,
at the end of the match.
this is my opinion, right? But that this is the kind of fight where I have no problem with people with different views. In my opinion, Norton blows it in the 15th round.
Damn it, did YouTube just take me down, man?
No, I don't think
somebody
so.
just said, "Damn it, what the fuck happened?"
They probably just need to refresh.
Well, check me. Are you guys watching it on YouTube?
Let me see.
I'm watching on YouTube.
Oh yeah, suspended for policy violations. I don't know what.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I see StreamYards.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Bruce. I'm not sure what we did, bro.
Oh wow, man, that blows. Well, let me. Shit.
What happened?
Dang.
Well, I guess
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm watching. I'm seeing it. I mean,
I guess I'll get from YouTube. Well, yeah, we're seeing it, but YouTube's not showing it anymore.
Oh, here we go.
I
guess.
Let me put it on hold for a second. I want to go to YouTube and see what they did here. Yeah, go to my channel and put the live that we're doing right now.
Yeah, sorry about that, Bruce. If it was anything I did, man, I don't know what happened.
Well, it almost looks like.
Yeah, sorry about that, Bruce. If it was anything I don't know.
It almost looks like. Oh, we're not on YouTube. I think we're still on StreamYard here. Let me see if.
okay. We're off the air.
No, I just wait a minute. I just went back to YouTube. I think we're on YouTube, bro.
Huh? Well, they unsuspended it? That's weird.
Wait a second here. Let me.
Yeah, I can hear the audio coming through echo.
Let me see.
Yeah,
here.
there you are. Yeah, we're live. Yep.
Oh, somebody's behind. Is it my my volume's down.
I just muted mine. Make sure.
Okay.
Somebody's
all right,
got
now.
the background audio on the YouTube tab.
Actually, I hear it too. Yeah.
Grind it. You got to mute the YouTube tab, bro.
I'm on mute right now.
I'm on mute. My camera's mute.
Okay, now we're good. We're loud and clear. Now, how come it was stopped, man? I don't get it. What the fuck just happened? Strike YouTube stopped the stream, but they didn't stop the stream because we're over here fucking talking.
They brought it back. It had the thing up saying something about rules violation, but I assume it might be.
Wait a minute. I hear myself talking in the background.
You got the YouTube. You got to close the YouTube tab.
Yeah. Hang on here. Let me get this one. I shut this one down here. And I got that one closed down. Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
Now.
I shouldn't hear myself in the background anymore. We good, guys?
I don't hear it.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
right,
I think what happened is you probably forgot to mute the audio on one of the fights we were watching. You got to mute the audio is like one of the tricky things about it. Eventually, they get.
Oh, because if it's coming through the mic, okay, I see you. Right, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Somebody, you got to make sure you have the audio muted when you're showing fights. Elsewise, as long as you've done that, you should be able to get away with it, especially with the old fights from the era we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's just my experience with it, though.
All right, somebody's mic is giving a wicked feedback because it's not mine. I just put mine on mute, and I didn't hear. I could hear somebody still doing it. So I don't hear it right now.
Hang on, it might be me. It might be me. Let me check something. It might be my fan over here. 1 second.
Yeah, Doc, I think it's you, bro, because I can hear myself now through yours.
Okay.
Strange stuff going on. A copyright strike? Is that what happened to me?
And then they like undid it.
Yeah, but if they did, wouldn't I be shut off right now?
Well, usually whenever I've seen it, they keep them shut off. But
Well,
yeah,
here's what I'll do, man. I will go in my. I can still hear that fucking.
Yeah, I'm hearing it too, even when I'm muted, Bruce.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, me too.
Well, boys, I think I'm gonna shut her down actually. But great hanging out.
Yeah, man.
We'll do it again sometime.
Absolutely.
Oh, Bruce is muted.
Now he's got on. Yeah, now you're muted. Bruce.
Okay, yeah, no, I just got a letter from YouTube, and it says due to a copyright match, your stream was interrupted. Streams are interrupted when copyright is detected. After copyright material is no longer being streamed, streams are automatically re-enabled. Sincerely, the YouTube team.
Thank you.
I guess that's an improvement. That's an improvement actually over what they usually do, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm still here. I must have something else turned on here. I got to look into my.
Yeah, you must have it coming through another device because all three of us have muted and it's still.
That's StreamYard.
Yeah.
That's. All right, let's see here, man. I'll click this off.
Okay, well, you guys take care, man. I'll see you guys next time. Okay, you guys. Have
all right, brother. Hey, man. Hey,
Nice
Sean.
to
Thanks
see
for
you
coming in here, man. I'm going to stick around and get to the bottom of this if you don't mind, guys. You
Sounds
guys
good, my
sticking for a bit?
Hey, I'm good.
All right, let's.
Yeah, I'll hang with you.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. See, I think I only have that on. Now, do we hear the echo anymore? I don't hear it. Good. Turn your mics on, guys.
Yo.
Grinder.
Yeah. Don't hear it.
I don't hear it right now either. I think we're good, guys. I think we're good. Cool. We've got landing here, man. We're back to normal. But that's weird, man. So YouTube just fucking bounced me for showing the fight, for showing that copyrighted material.
Yeah, usually it's the audio that gets you. That's like I said. That's from what I've seen. The streams where they don't have a problem. They make sure they have the audio of the fight itself muted. That they're the one that they're playing.
I was looking at him. My guy came down here today because he fixed my computer the other day. My mic wasn't hooked up properly, and I noticed he went in there today and did something. He did it remotely, and it says my microphone and YouTube is open. I wonder if that should be or shouldn't be. I don't know, man.
I don't know. It's about my pay grade.
I never got whacked like that before, and I've shown a ton of fights, but I never did like a fucking 4-hour job like this, a marathon, man. But hey, I'm gonna see if if this sucker opens back up on. Yeah, I'm sure it will, because I think I only have 2 screens opened up right now on my machine, and I could go back on my YouTube, and I think I'm back on I'm back live over here for some strange reason. I don't know what was happening earlier. We were showing fights all night. This one, as soon as I get to controls, I'll shut the volume down on it. Yeah, okay. And man, that's weird, man. We've shown so many fights on here, and hey, me and George Jakovic, man, we want to do Tuesday night fights. We did it last night, and we said, "Oh, this is cool, man. Maybe we're not going to be able to do it, man. Maybe we're going to get struck out from doing it. Who knows? Maybe they're gonna."
That was strange.
Yeah, but they wait towards the end. They wait towards the end of the fight and do it. Wow.
Oh yeah, we were already into the 10th or 11th round of memory serves.
That's what I'm saying.
They used to attack that night with the first round.
Yeah.
And we showed 3 fights earlier, didn't we? At least 2
Oh
fights.
yeah. I'd say 2 and most of a third.
YouTube bunch of BS. Man. Y'all saw 3 fights, and they gonna wait. Until
I don't know, man. You know what? I think they just want us to come on here and talk. They're always giving me the notices for playing music, and I love music, and the choices that they give me, it's background stuff. You know, I mean, shit. Fuck, it's I'm sure we all have it here. You know, this fucking shit like this. You know. You know, they give us that, and then they give us one. They call this one "Feeding the Ducks." What the fuck is this all about?
What the fuck? Are you serious?
Yeah, feeding the ducks.
That's what we get, huh?
Check it out. And now this music I can play in the background, and it doesn't. I'm not offending anybody's copyright. Doc, is that you, bro?
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, man, you're sounding good in there, man. I'm saying that doesn't sound this good for playing it from the screen. And this is real over here, bro.
Hang on a second, I'll turn it up a little.
I'm keeping the beat with this other thing, though. Let me keep the beat going for you.
Okay.
With this here, hang on a second. Get in tune with that, bro. There you go. Ooh, John McLaughlin in there.
Listen, all right.
Feeding the ducks. You got it, John Connery. But look at now it's superior. This version with Doc in there, man. Laying down the tracks here, baby. There you go, Doc. All right, Mr. Doc, man. I can't end it any better than that, bro. I mean, you were fucking ripping it, man. You were tearing it on that one, brother. Listen, man.
Off the cuff.
It's 11:30. I didn't realize the time. You know,
Yeah,
time flies when you're having such a fucking good time. I know with you, Like what are you at? Like fucking 9:30 or something like that, man?
8:30 right here.
8:30. Damn. I wish I could turn the clock back because I'm kind of wide, but I know what happens, man. 7 o'clock, the seagulls squawk. My dog asked me to get him up. My wife's fucking making noises, and I'm a guy who I have to sleep in darkness and silence, man. But anyway, bro, great way to end it. Grinder, anything you want to say before we say goodnight, brother?
I just want to say thank you. And Derek Bailey, this is my secondary channel. The Underrated Doctors channel will be back. I just got to fix it a little bit. And, I might have a surprise in a few days. I'll keep you up, Bruce, on that.
Hey, Grinder, you know, I got to talk to you, bro, because I have a friend who's really good with computers and stuff. He might be able to retrieve your passwords.
Okay.
He's done it for me a bunch of times, man. You know, maybe we'll talk.
Okay.
You know, we'll talk in a little bit, okay, brother?
Got you.
All right, man. Hey, thank you for stopping in, man.
Thank you, and also, I'm gonna hit you an email. I might have a surprise for you.
All right, my brother. Peace be with you, man. How about you, Mr. Doc? Mr. Doc, you want to say goodbye to the good people out there? There you go.
Like that.
Couldn't say it any better than that, my brother.
Yes, I appreciate you having me on, man.
Oh God, thank you for stopping in. You know you're always welcome, Doc. Man, your knowledge and our mutual love for Muhammad Ali fights for the whole era, man. John McSmith, you know it, bro. You know, I love Muhammad Ali, but man, I love that whole era. I love Joe Frazier.
Absolutely.
I love Buster Mathis. I love fucking Ernie Terrell. I love Angelo. Everybody out there, man. That was the fighters, man.
Any Ellis, Jerry Quarry, Mac Foster.
I love them. I saw a concert in Boston, 1975. It was Jeff Beck opened the show, and it was followed by the Mahavishnu Orchestra.
Man,
what a concert! Man, wow.
Can't go wrong with that.
It was so awesome. It was, you know, Ian Hammer was playing with the Mahavishnu Orchestra, but he went over to Jeff Beck after that, and they toured the next year. It was some kick-ass music. But anyway, man, Doc, you're the man on the axe, man. I thank you for coming in here, bro. I'm going to sign off.
Yeah, me too, bro. You take care, all right, brother?
Peace, my brother. Peace.
Peace.
Guys, nothing but gratitude for you coming in here, man. Bruce goes on here, man. You know, just thanking everybody that come on here, man. The Grinder, Doc, Con Shawnery, Brandon. You know, we had a good talk. You know, I guess I got slapped for showing some copyrighted shit. And hey, man, 4 hours I've been on here, man. It's kind of like a record for me. I may just take the stream down. I don't know, man. It was fun. It was crazy, man. I wish you all a good night, man. You know, I hope you find somebody to get you through the night, man. And I hope you find whatever gets you right. And man, peace, mad love. Bruce goes out of here, man. Peace.